little bit cleaner, but something is dusty. Real dusty. I'm using some stronger Wi-Fi today, y'all. We have hijacked other people's Wi-Fi.
We didn't.
No, we didn't. We hijacked our own Wi-Fi. So, first I'm gonna drink this, and then I'll get started with my usual world news stuff. And then hopefully more people will be in here by then. I just started this up, so nobody's gonna be in here right now. Make sure the chat is good. The chats. Creator tools. What's this? Oh, just start a poll. That's all I got. That's crazy. Ooh. Disgusting. All right. Pull up the chats. Can you promise that you'll let me down slowly? Okay. Got the chat up and running. Now, could look at some news. FAA warns that falling satellites are going to start killing people. That's great news to hear. I'm not even going to read that story because kind of summed up in the title. Bosses deploying AIs in video meetings to lecture employees for bad behavior. A robot could never tell me that I was misbehaving. Coin flips aren't actually 50-50. I need to know more about that. Let's see, it isn't actually a fair 50-50 chance. As a part of a peer-reviewed study, they did hundreds of thousands of coin flips and found overwhelming evidence. Watch out. Overwhelming evidence of same-side bias, or that flip coins are slightly but significantly more likely to land on the same side they started on. So basically, if you're gonna call the side that the coin's already on. That's actually really good to know for when I scam someone in the future. Very interesting. Now, what was I actually gonna look at? Scientists find that getting naughty helps protect against cognitive decline. I wonder what's falling under getting naughty. Individuals 62 or older married or had an intimate sexual partner. Elders between the ages of 75 and 90 who had sex at least once a week were shown to exhibit better cognitive function than their counterparts who were less sexually active. First of all, if you're 75 to 90, you don't need to be having sex. I don't want to read about that. That's not what I want to read about. I don't know what I thought this study was, but it wasn't that. For folks between the ages of 62 and 74, who should also not be having sex, Sexual quality was key in determining whether sexual activity actually offered cognitive benefits. So basically, if you're 75 to 90, as long as you have sex, your brain's going crazy. You good. But if you're 62, you need to actually have good sex. Disgusting. I'm Xing out of that to never return. Let's see what else we got. Doctors testing gene therapy to cure a type of deafness. Let's see how that works. First ever trial of a gene therapy intended to cure auditory neuropathy, a type of deafness that stops nerve impulses from making it to the inner ear of the brain. Children with this variation of OTOF gene are born with severe hearing loss, but they often pass the newborn hearing screening, so everyone thinks they can hear. Blah, blah, blah. I really just want to know how the experiment works. So they do it after the kid is born. So it's an injection. Yeah, I don't know how that kind of stuff works, but basically some injections that the kid can do and actually not be deaf. It's kind of crazy, man. Modern medicine is pretty insane. Let's see what else we got here. For all you creepers that like to listen to the stream and creep, that's cool. But you gotta give it a like though. That's the rule. Gotta give this stream a like on your creeping. FDA warns that ketamine therapy seems to just be partying. I could have told you that. 104-year-old dies days after skydiving from an airplane. That's a pretty lit death, I'm not gonna lie. You're already 104, who cares, bro? Let's see what happened, though. Oh, days after setting a world record for being the oldest person to skydive, a Chicago woman died peacefully in her sleep. That's hella dope. She basically like took that off the bucket list and she was like, I'm out of here, bro. I feel that. I'm not really trying to live after 100, to be honest. I'm not really trying to make it to 100. Scientists intrigued by a drug that mimics the effects of exercise in mice. Sorry. Let's see what that's about. We got a little drug that mimics exercise. But just as you imagine, there are caveats, so don't throw your workout clothes out just yet. SLUPP332 led obese mice to lose weight by apparently convincing their bodies to go into marathon training mode, leading to a faster metabolism and more energy and endurance without actually exercising. This compound is basically telling skeletal muscle to make the same changes you see during endurance training. Oh, bro, it's about to be lit for sports. Whenever the scientists get a hold of this, SLUPP332 purports to achieve this by targeting what are known as EFF proteins that activate the body's most energy gobbling tissues, such as the brain, the heart, and other muscles. They're naturally released during exercise, but until now have proven elusive to simulate with drugs. Washington University in St. Louis. You can see that their whole body metabolism turns to using fatty acids. As a result, the animals start losing weight. No, I'm scanning for the side effects right now. Actually, right now they don't have side effects right now, but they don't know what it does in humans because they're doing it on mice. So that's the risk you take. You might be able to get your hands on this stuff, and you ain't gonna know the side effects until you're the one dealing with them. So. Phew. Damn, there's nobody in here. About to get off this bitch. I'll give it 5 to 10 more minutes. If nobody comes in, then it'll be a real short life. Let's see what else we got in science. This magic moment. Whenever I hold you tight. See what the world news is talking about. Ecuador chooses president during wave of violence. I'm not clicking that. It's interesting, but not quite interesting enough. 11 kilograms of cocaine found in a wheelchair. That's smart. That's smart. I'm not seeing any good news today, man. No people in the chat, no good news. That might be my sign, man. The universe does not want me to live stream today. Y'all don't respect me, man. Inmates at Paraguay jail free the guards that were held hostage. How you a guard being held hostage at a jail? You're supposed to keep the peace at the jail, bro. I was watching one of those shows, what is it called? Like the world's most dangerous prisons or whatever. And I watched the episode in Paraguay and I was like, bro, I would commit suicide if I had to go there. Cause that joint looked like it was crazy. So I'm really not surprised that they're holding the guards hostage there. Let's see, I'm at 15 minutes. How long do you think I should go with no viewers before I just cancel it? Ask somebody now.
You're at 15?
Mm-hmm.
You probably have 10 more minutes.
10 more? Alright, she said 10 more. I'm gonna go to 25. At 25 though, I'm getting off. This is too much talking to myself. I don't do this for myself. I talk to myself all day. Negros de mierda. You stupid. Takumbu. That's where the riot happened. So these 22 prison guards were held hostage. Oh, it was only 15 hours. That's not that long. That's a long time?
Yes.
I mean, it could have been longer. I feel like it's not that long.
I'll tell you why people haven't gone because of your clip. Your picture that you picked today. That's disgusting.
So the picture is making y'all not click, is what she's saying. I thought that was a hilarious picture.
That's pretty disgusting.
Saludos desde Argentina. Hey, ¿qué es la que hay? Moto Loco Ruiz. ¿Qué haces? ¿O qué haces? ¿Qué haces vos? Hola, Moto. Yeah, you remember those commercials back in the day that were like, hello, Moto? You remember those?
See, I just needed to pop in.
You're not the cause.
Yeah, we have 2 people now.
No,
After I
they came on their own.
Nope.
And Luis, what's up, bro? You been talking to your shorty still, or what? Yo, tell the dance crew to stop texting.
You can silence it.
I realized that it was too late now. Moto Loco, ¿cuántos años tienes? ¿Cuántos años tenés? ¿Y dónde vivís? We buzzing? See, y'all going strong, huh? Y'all going out again soon or what? And I'm still waiting to see this 90 kilogram snatch, Louis. I'll tell you. Okay. I'm waiting. Tell me something. Tell me something good. Tell me that you love me. You know, the worst thing is I don't think I can change this picture now, so, you know. The picture stays. That picture's hilarious.
No, that's not.
It's not?
You're not.
Let's see. Let's see if there's a chance that I could change it.
Put a picture of me and everyone will come.
Hold on, y'all. Let me see something. I think it's too late because I already started it. That's the problem.
Probably.
$32 años, bro. Vivo en el lugar más lindo de Argentina, la Patagonia. Nunca he escuchado de la Patagonia. Pero está bien. Bienvenido. Y tu nombre no es Moto Loco. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Moto.
Moto. No, pero en verdad quiero conocer a Argentina algún día. Y quiero hablar así, boludo. Do you want to get on the stream? Come here. Yeah. Let's get you in the chat. Look, the screen is that way, bro. You're facing the wrong direction. Look. He doesn't want to be on the stream, y'all. He does not want to be on the stream. Lewis, have you been working out, bro? Because before you know it, it's going to be time to ship off to basic training, and you're going to be like, damn, I should have worked out harder. Basic training is so tough. They breaking me off. What you doing, bud? You ready to get down? Me llamo Juan David. Juan David. Okay. Mucho gusto. La Patagonia. Déjame buscar. La Patagonia, Argentina. Oh, wow. Beautiful. You ever heard of this? La Patagonia? You have?
Yeah, it's like a famous company of clothing in Washington.
Well, I know the clothing company, but I never
But
seen.
it's based off of that.
I've never seen this before. This is beautiful. Wow. Mucho hielo. ¿Y hace mucho frío allá o no? Porque puedo ver mucho hielo. Mucha nieve. Wow. Let's type in Cali, Colombia to La Patagonia, Argentina. Let's go to Argentina. I mean, low key, this would be a cheap flight.
How much?
It's like 800,000 pesos. But that's not horrible.
$200.
Yeah, that's not the worst. To go to a whole nother country. ¿Vivís en Colombia? Sí, en este momento sí, vivo aquí. En Cali, Colombia. Pero soy de los Estados Unidos. Soy de Texas. The greatest state in the world.
Nope.
¿Y Juan David, hablas inglés o no? Estuve en Colombia, Bucaramanga. Ah, ok, está bien. Bucaramanga. Ba, ba, bum, bum. Dun, dun. No es mi proyecto 2024. Aprender inglés. Está bien, bro. Bueno. No quiero que te sientas excluido, pero hablo mucho inglés en vivo en YouTube. Louis, did you leave, bro? Did you come in here and tell me good news and then just leave like that, bro? That's crazy. Y 2024, ¿por qué? Oh, he said be right back. I didn't see that. Aprendelo. Ahora mismo. I'll be right back. That's what happened. I'm gonna decide to get off, and everyone's gonna want to get on.
That's why you just have to decide to get off right now. There's 6 people out here.
They saying that, but you don't actually see them. Or they don't talk, I should say. Motherfuckers be creeping. Hello, lurkers. It says 6 people are watching this right now. If 6 people are watching this, what are 6 people doing right now that are not talking?
Basta, Tatiana.
you bust down.
Everyone? Hello? This is my hair. If you were here yesterday or the day before, whenever we did our live.
It was neither.
This is what I'm working with for the next 3 months or so, probably. It'll grow before then, but
It really doesn't look bad, but she just wanted it a certain way, so she thinks
it was supposed to be down here, and it's up here, and it was originally down here. To go from here to
Was
here.
it?
Yes, it was here.
And where is it now?
Here.
Nah, but when it's
wait,
straightened
wait.
out, like if it was straightened out, it wouldn't be.
It's here.
Oh,
So she
okay,
made
okay,
this
okay.
much. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Bitch. For my magic move, you will submit. Jaden.
Never.
How long till he says no?
Never. See, you just put your hand right here, and then they can't do it.
Don't.
Yeah. How would you do
Okay,
it?
let's go for real though.
No, I just wouldn't let you. See? My hand stops it.
Gotta fight. Then I go like
That's cheating.
No, you have to readjust.
Nah.
That's part of the move.
I just said that I would stop the first one.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
You go here, and then you pretend you're a snake, and then you just go here, slide.
I watch
There it
UFC.
is.
I would never let it happen. I've tweeted too many times that I just simply wouldn't have tapped.
I feel like you're starting to feel it.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm good. I told you I watch UFC. If you watch UFC, you can't get choked out. See?
I'll loosen up for you.
You don't have to. I'm fine.
Sure, bro.
I'm just gonna get sweaty because
I
it's
know,
hot.
I'm getting hella sweaty.
Yeah. Sicko.
Everyone left. If you...
Well, it says there's 4 people, but who that is, I don't know.
4 people contribute.
This is the most, maybe the most non-interactive live I've ever had, I would say. I think. Especially like I think in the beginning, but even like the first one I ever did, there was like a couple people talking. This one, don't know what happened this Sunday. Don't know what y'all are doing in y'all's lives. But what I will do for y'all is I will make a commitment to go to an hour. Because people did start talking. So I'll go to an hour. Maybe. And then if nobody's talking after an hour, bro, I can't do it. Lewis took a break. Who else was in here? Oh, it's only been Lewis and Juan David. Juan David, ¿qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es en Argentina? Let me look. What time is it? In Argentina. Ah, son las 12. Oh, no, son las 11. Well, I told Moto that I'd be speaking English on the thing, so he probably was like, Psh, peace. But I don't know. Don't know. This is tough, man. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to an hour. I can't lie. But if Lewis is coming back, then I probably will stay on at least till he gets back. Oh, he did say BRB. I see it now. Alright. I won't get off. Only because Lewis is coming back. If it wasn't for him, I'd close this bitch. I would close it on time. Yo, this dude commented on my YouTube, and he's remember the last Airbnb we were in? He was like, "Yo, I was in that Airbnb last year," and I was like, "How did you like it?" And he said it was noisy. That's all he said. That's what I thought. I was like, I feel it, but I was like, this one's noisier. Oh yeah, this morning, bro, it was like 7 in the morning. Actually, I'm talking loud right now. They could probably hear me because these walls are kind of thin. But it was like 7 in the morning. These people across the hall was blasting their music as loud as possible with the door open. And I'm talking about like, I don't know if y'all know what vallenato is, but like hella like accordions and like dun, 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 dun. And it's just like, bruh, like y'all couldn't wait till like noon to do that. It was loud, bro. It woke me up. I was not happy. I didn't say nothing, but I wasn't happy. But then the owner of this place asked us if we knew who did it. I'm not a snitch, so I didn't say nothing, but there's a certain person in here that is a snitch. There's a snitch that told on them. I'm not saying who it was, but there's only 2 people that live in here. And one of them snitched, and I didn't snitch. Draw your own conclusions. Hay una zapa, hay una zapa. Zapa. Alright, well, since y'all are so boring, I'm gonna go back to Google. Let's look up. What should I look up? Gang Gang. Oh, Rolando's here now. Rolando, Lewis, y'all are saving the chat, bro. I got real close to Xing out of here, so you guys are the saviors. What's your new favorite word, bro? Is it English or is it Spanish? All right, Lewis, let's hear it, bro. Let's hear all the good news. She told me she wanted to meet up with her and that she wanted to tell me something. You kissed? Hey. Was it a good kiss? Were you happy afterwards? Rolando, what's the word, bro? Rolando about to say some dumb shit, bro. He about to say morra. Compa. ¿Qué le parece esa morra? La que anda bailando sola. Me gusta pa' mí. Bella. Ella sabe que está buena. I took her to this party Joseph was at. Was it today? Because Joseph was messaging me today. He was cracking me up, bro. He literally told me he was hiding in the bathroom. Obviously, I'm not going to say why he was hiding in the bathroom, but that shit was funny, bro. I was like, bro, get out of there. I'm not sure if I kissed her good, so I got to practice more with her. Here's the good thing, bro. It doesn't really matter. If y'all really like each other, then pretty much anything y'all do is gonna be cool as long as y'all, like you said, try to improve on it between each other. but it's not gonna be like it's not gonna be like her being like, oh, you're not a good kisser, blah blah blah. It's not gonna be like that if y'all really like each other. She might tell you to do something better, but that's not really a big deal. For some reason, it didn't post when I hit send. Well, what was it? I'm still waiting. Bro, you didn't have to tell her y'all can't be long term. You just tell her that you're joining the military. Unless you just don't want to be long term, but that's your decision. But you never know. You never know what life has in store, man. Rolando, is it English or Spanish? Because it's not. It's only gonna block it if it's English and if it's a bad word. Tell me the first 3 letters, and then I'll guess. That'll be my game for right now to keep me entertained. Well, yeah, it's too late. You already said what you said, but in future conversations, you could backtrack a little bit. You could be like, I like you, but this about to be long distance for, a really long time or whatever, because I'm leaving. So we should just play it by ear, which for the most part means y'all are not going to stay together, but it could mean that y'all are going to stay together. You never know. Rolando, is that the whole word or is that the first 3 letters before I start guessing? Those are the first 3 letters. Is it Español de España? Gilipollas? 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 As much as I don't care for the Spanish, the general Spanish accent, they do have some funny words. They have some funny words. Gilipollas. Yeah, okay, I figure. I like that word too. I know her too, and her friend was there. Joseph showed up and said, I'm standing guard to make sure there's no holes here. And she said, me, my friend here. Bro, don't be putting his business out there, bro. You never know who's watching this shit, but nah, I feel you. Rolando, why you keep putting hitty pojas, bro? You know what makes me laugh too? That they call money pasta, bro. La pasta. What else? What else? What other funny stuff did they say? Felipe! I'm doing well. I'm super good, super great. You know, Felipe, I'm gonna tell you something that Americans do that you might already know, but I just thought about it because I responded to you in the proper way and not the way that I would normally say this. If someone asked me how I was doing and then it was American, I would say I'm good. Technically, that's incorrect. You're supposed to say you're doing well, but almost all Americans say good instead of well. It's a little grammatical thing that's it's just what we do. Say, yeah, I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. How are you? But I think most of us know that the correct word to use in that situation is well, but it just doesn't, that's just not what we say. It's just not what we normally say. There are a lot of people that do. Um, just like another thing, what is it? People are always like, oh, it's not. Oh, yeah. So lots of people say conversating when you're supposed to say conversing. But like, I'm like, who really cares? You know what I mean? Lots of people are like, oh, the word is conversing. Conversating isn't a real word. And I'm like, right. We know, but who cares? Jalen, hope Colombia treating you well, bro. Any crazy adventures this week? How are you doing, by the way? I hope you're well. Hope life's treating you great, bro. But I wouldn't say I had any crazy adventures this week. Yeah, we did something this week, right? What did we do? I took videos or something. I just haven't uploaded it yet. What did we do?
The dance at our school.
Nah, I uploaded that already. I can't think. We did something. Oh, and they got, what did we do? Oh. Nah, it wasn't a crazy adventure, but I did go to this like local hot dog spot that was like, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's very local. They got all these different hot dogs and hamburgers, so. Finna, okay, Felipe, listen up closely. I'm gonna explain you finna because finna is very black, first of all.
Super black.
Super black. So if you're not black, it's gonna sound weird if you say it. But I'm gonna explain it to you. Do whatever you want. In the South, people say fixing to as a way of saying going to, right? So I'm gonna tell you how people in the South would say it in general, and then I'll tell you how I would say it. Actually, I'll use this. I'm fixing to drink this. What I would say, what my family would say, what a lot of black people would say is, I'm finna drink this. So it's just finna. So just finna is fixing to, which is going to. So if you hear finna, just means I'm going to. Or not necessarily I'm, because you can say he finna drink this. He finna go over there. He finna do this. He finna do that. I'm with Joseph. He said for me to chill before you get put in the headlock. Good, bro. Stop snitching on him. Jalen, I showed my chick the video of your wife sleeping that chick. What'd she say, bro? Yeah, she does BJJ. She doesn't do MMA. Sprained my ankle playing pickup today, so I can't lift until the swelling goes down. You can lift, you just can't lift with your legs. You can still do upper body stuff. But yeah, Rolando, that is hilarious. Felipe, I learned I'm doing good. That's more, you will fit right in if you say that. Like I said, just because it's not proper, academically proper, doesn't mean that it's not perfectly okay to use. Also, Felipe, I'm no English teacher. I'm no grammar teacher. But, I read a lot. I think I'm fairly intelligent. So if you have any, grammar questions or just general English questions, always feel free to ask them in the chat. If I can't answer it, I guarantee you Rolando or someone else will be able to answer it. But definitely I can tell you, like random stuff like that. I'm doing good or finna or something like that. Maybe higher level grammatical stuff I might not be able to answer depending on what it is. But Most stuff I think I could answer, probably. She said it was hella badass. Let's go. Huh?
Can I see the computer for like 15 seconds?
Take it.
I don't know. I just need to take a picture of something. Hi, everyone.
What do you feel in my cup? Y'all can talk to Axel until I get
Hi,
back.
everyone. I just have some homework to do, and I left some notes on my phone.
You don't want to drink none of this, right?
No, I'm good. So I downloaded the Canva app, which is an app you can make like art, visual aids, and I figured I could do it on my phone, and I did my laptop for it. So I'm just taking my notes that I had on my laptop so I can make it over there and let Jalen have the laptop. Not that y'all really care about my school. But since I'm here, I'm studying public health. Lovely. See? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, I do jujitsu. I would never do MMA. I would never do MMA. I could deal with getting punched in the face, but I do not want to get kicked in the head. Nope, 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 nope. Props to them for taking that risk. But I'm not just gonna take a fucking leg that has so much fucking power to the fucking head. That's insane.
I actually feel that.
Like, no. Like, your arm can generate a lot of power, but this fucking thing, this is a lot of fucking weight here. A lot of power. Not for me. Not for me. Thanks, Darius. Appreciate it.
What did he say?
He said, congrats, Axa.
Oh, Darius?
Yes.
Darius is a cool guy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, since you didn't be there for a while.
I'm not. You can take it. Oh,
Right
okay.
now?
Fine, I'll do that. Okay. What's up, Felipe? Are you Brazilian, Felipe? I forgot. I've seen your name before, but I don't remember who you are. Yes, I do jujitsu. I would never do. Oh yeah. Okay, I remember now, Rio. Yaxa, what's a family norm you won't be passing down to your future kids? Oof, I feel like there's so many. Spanking, I guess. I don't want to spank my kids, and I don't really want to yell at them either. I know sometimes, like, there's a way of disciplining, and obviously I'm not going to be able to control my temper all the time, but I don't want to have to yell at my kids. I feel like if you can just talk to them sternly and get the point across and explain to them what they did was wrong, I think most of the time people will abide by what you say or obey. But I'm also not a fucking parent, so, and they say like you're the best parent when you didn't have kids, so I don't know. There's that.
Your mom electrocuted y'all. What?
Yeah, that's just like, I just feel like my parents getting belts out and just the weirdest shit to spank. I just don't agree with that. And then more than anything, as I grew up in my teenage years, I was just scared of my parents. Like I didn't want to tell them anything. Like I didn't want to tell them my achievements. I didn't want them to be there for it. I didn't when I fucked up and stuff, I didn't want them to come rescue me because I was just gonna get my ass beat. But your parents really should be your first line of like, damn, I fucked up. Like, I need my parents' help. That's what your parents are there for.
Hey, dog, when you said she electrocuted y'all, what do you mean, bro? Oh, with small wires?
Beyond outlet, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, that's just another level of abuse.
Yeah.
That you can like die from that and go to the hospital. So.
You know what? You know what's funny? Not to like say my parents abused us or anything, because they didn't, but that's like how all parents basically justify the things that they do. They're like, I know someone that electrocutes their kids. I know someone that
Yeah,
beats their
yeah.
kids with a bat. I'm super nice to y'all.
Mhm.
But like honestly, when they said stuff like that, I was just like, man, nobody fucking electrocuting their kids, bro. But now you just said that.
Yeah. And it's just,
God
and
damn,
I
bro.
also just don't want my kids to be comparing, like, because growing up, I just grew up with other hood people, and we all just talked about all the crazy shit our parents did to us, and then we all just laughed, and I was like, I just don't want my kid to do that. I just want my kid to be the one that's like feels left out because of that. I have a friend right now. She's my best friend, who she just stares at us in a conversation, and she's just like, mm-hmm. And she and I want my kids to be her. So.
Wait, hey Lewis, did you answer? How can he be an alpha male?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Why are
I
you
was
asking
talking.
that, bro? Why'd you ask
How
that?
can I be an alpha male? Um, we'll start by not asking that question. um, Alpha males don't ask how they can be alpha. But I will say confident men who do good shit in their lives tend to be alphas. Like, they follow through with their word. Like, when they say they're gonna do
Well, he
something,
said he
they'll
was just
do it.
playing. Well, just in
Oh,
case you weren't
okay.
playing and you're just saying
Oops.
you're playing now,
Well, I answered the question for
let
you,
me tell you
so.
this, bro. There's no such thing as alpha males. Anyone can decide that you are or
Mhm.
aren't an alpha male.
True.
You can say you're an alpha male and you're not. So
Yeah.
if you weren't playing, don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah.
Just be you and be
Yeah,
confident.
yeah, just be you. I feel like, and also just confidence. Confidence, like, goes such a long way. Like, I will say in high school and college, I was a weird ass motherfucker. But because I was so confident, I had so many friends, and I was like always really popular. But you guys, like, some of the shit I did, I just look back on, and I just like, I'm like, oh my god. Or sometimes some of my friends will send me videos of shit that I did, and I'm just like, this is just embarrassing. What the fuck was I thinking?
Ooh, the vacuum cord that happened. I
Yeah.
remember that damn bare butt. I'm not. I don't want to like, as the UK people say, bait my parents out. I don't want to put my parents on blast, but there was some whoopings that involved someone, not necessarily me. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Someone had to get in the shower so their skin would be more sensitive, naked skin, so that you, like you said, bare butt.
Yeah.
And just looking
It's
back on
just
that, I'm like,
fucking.
bro, what the fuck
Or
is wrong
like,
with y'all, bro?
or the other thing is just like your parents making you strip down so it's your bare butt, like, so they could spank you. I'm just like, that's just disgusting. Why do you want to spank my butt like bare?
So it hurts
But
more.
that's just disgusting. You're
I mean, I
fucking
agree.
naked. Like, I remember my parents like making me literally bend over with my butt naked self. I'm just like, this is
Yeah,
very
that's insane.
like insane.
But yeah, Darius, I already knew what she was talking about because my grandma and my mom, same thing, go get the switch. And that's the craziest part too, like going to get the switch yourself, bro. You gotta break the fucking branch off of the tree. And you know the one that you pick isn't good enough. You're like, well, I'm not trying to pick the one that's gonna hurt. But then you know you're gonna come back and they're gonna be like, oh, you tried to get the softest one. Go back out there and get the. Yeah, that's a whole different level of psychological warfare right there.
Hmm.
Going to get the own weapon that's gonna
And you
hurt
know
you.
the betrayal was when your parents asked your sibling to go get it, and your sibling went to go get it for. My dad would be like, "Go get the belt." I thought we
Yeah.
was cool. I thought we had it
Hey,
right.
yo, I know abuse isn't funny and shit, but when I had to go get the belt for my siblings, I'll be popping that motherfucker like, and I'll be like, nah, this shit not hard enough, bro.
Wow.
I'll be
Oh
hitting that shit on my
wow.
head. I'll be like, oh, that shit hurts. I'm like, this is the one. Now bring it to my dad, all proud and shit. Like, here you go. Clearly, I was not a good brother.
Okay, first of all, when y'all said
Struggling.
Switch, I thought y'all meant like the Nintendo, like Switch.
Man, that shit didn't exist.
until, until you said the stick, I didn't know that's what y'all called a stick or a branch. Like, Orlando said that is troubling. This
It
whole
is.
conversation is very
Now listen, let
troubling.
me tell you something, bro. For one, like I said, I believe my parents were doing what they thought was right at the time. I don't think they exceeded what was normal at the time. To say is it correct or not, I can't say. Today would be unacceptable. At those times, I think my parents were being nicer than other parents. I'll say that because I like not to put Luis on blast, but he
We
just
wasn't
said,
getting
yeah,
electrocuted.
yeah, for real. Not even joking, but like my parents would be like, "What? Someone electrocuted their kid? That's crazy." Or I knew people whose parents burned cigarettes on them, bro. I'm not even joking, shit like that. So at the time in the '90s and the early 2000s, getting whooped with a belt or a branch was like lightweight shit, bro. Like for
Or
real,
like,
for
or
real.
I thought I wasn't abused because I never got punched in the face, and so by my parents at least, my siblings punched me in the face, and so like I remember realizing I was like finding out that abuse meant like you could still like not get punched in the face and be abused, and I was like, what?
Yeah, and this is obviously it's all subjective, right? I don't want to put my family business out there too much, but me and my little sister will argue because I'll be like, bro, our parents didn't do shit to us, and she says our parents at least abused her, you know. So I can't tell her that she didn't go through something. I can't tell her that she wasn't abused. But to me, like I said, for the times, for what they could have done, wasn't that bad. Yeah, cigarette burns are crazy, bro. But I know multiple people that happened to. Multiple people. Um, and Lewis, I'm not trying to like fucking throw you in therapy or nothing, bro. But it really doesn't matter if it was sometimes or not, bro. Like, that's bad, bro. That's
Is
bad.
it Lois or is it Louise? Because I can't. Like, Lois sounds like a girl name.
Lewis.
You're saying Lois.
No, I'm not.
You're definitely saying Lois.
I'm not saying Lois. I'm saying Lewis.
No, it's Louise.
It's yeah, it's both. In English, it's Lewis. In Spanish, it's Luis.
Give my son.
Hey, que más pues, bro?
Okay, bro, you spelling it isn't gonna help. Okay, at least Felipe put a fucking accent mark. Okay, we got two different accent marks now. What's up,
All right,
Mike?
Here we go.
Okay,
Lewis
option
is one.
Lewis is one.
Luis is two. So just put a number.
Luis. So put one or two. Two is obviously correct.
Hola, saludos de
Luis.
Cartagena, Colombia. Hey, Q.
Q. Two. Ha.
B-Net versus Sweet Pain.
I win.
¿Qué es eso, bro? B-Net versus Sweet Pain.
See, everyone go two.
Mike, how you gonna tell him how to say his own name, bro?
Everyone's telling him how to say his own name. We got twos up and down.
Okay, so we're gonna stick with Luis, right?
It's Luis, yes.
That's what I normally say. Every once in a while I say Luis because I'm like, maybe he doesn't want his name pronounced as Luis because he lives in America. I don't know. Yeah, it's popping in here now. I almost got off this bitch like 20 minutes ago.
Es una batalla de rap y la escogí como nombre. Bent versus Sweet Pain.
B-Net versus Sweet Pain.
T-Pain.
Okay, vamos a verlo ahorita.
What?
He said it's a rap battle, B-Net versus Sweet Pain.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just being a follower. I don't know what I walked into. Hey, you've been missing some good conversation,
We've been
bro.
talking about abuse.
Yeah, we've been talking about parental abuse and if our parents whooped us or not. You don't have to contribute, but
we're all contributing.
we're just talking about what kind of whoopings we got, if we got whoopings, and
I feel like this could go higher so your head doesn't get chopped up.
no, it's fine. I'm just I can zoom in.
Okay.
It's not actually chopped off. The screen is just down on here. You know, see?
Oh. Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, so Mike, that's just what we've been talking about recently. ¿De dónde son? Veo que saben muy bien el español. Somos de los Estados Unidos, pero ahora vivimos en Cali, Colombia.
No parecen de Estados Unidos. Hello. My name is Axa.
No, pero queremos conocer a Cartagena muy pronto.
Quiero ir a la playa.
¿Hay muchos estafadores allá o no?
Yo vi muchas cosas en el YouTube. La verdad?
My mom would always say that she had it worse.
Bro, they all fucking had it worse in their home countries. I don't even want to hear. I'm like, bro, we're not in your home country. Just go ahead and chill off.
I stole a Sonic and Knuckles toy from my cousin. My mom beat me so bad I didn't even consider stealing anything after that for some kid that works like
Ooh, this is a good one. So,
and like,
as a 6-year-old, I used to just flip people off. Like, it was just my shit. I just be like,
all right, Mike. So you bring up a good point, bro. Because before you got in, I just talked about how abuse is subjective. And me and my sister grew up in the same household. My little sister said she was abused. I say that I wasn't. Mainly because I didn't do this shit after I got hit. Like you just said, bro, I did dumb shit. My parents whooped me, and I was like, either I'm never gonna do it again, or I'm never gonna get caught doing it again. And I don't want to say like it wasn't bad what they did, but like I said, at the time that they were doing that, it was tame. Like people burn their kids with cigarettes, people electrocute their kids, like Louise said. People do all kinds of shit. So my parents hit me with a belt because I did some crazy shit. I didn't consider it abuse. And I didn't do the dumb shit anymore. I'm not saying I'm gonna do that for my kids, but I'm just saying that's how it went. And it worked out for me. And I feel the same way. I'm thankful for it. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm not. But
I'll say, like, I got fucking hit and shit, but I'm not thankful for it. Nope. I'm not thankful for it at all.
But that's what I said. It's subjective. And on top of it being subjective, I think every kid has a different personality. And I think, check this out too. If they keep beating you and you keep doing the same shit, that's when I think it's kind of an abuse thing. Because it's like, bro, this shit's not even working. So you're kind of beating them for your own pleasure at this point. But for me, and like Mike said, it was enough to never do it again. Not like I said, I'm not saying it's right, but at the time, that's what they knew, and they just did the best that they could to keep us from doing dumb shit. You know what I mean? Diablo, mira, la gente que habla el inglés así. Pero bro, es mi idioma, idioma nativo, bro.
How do kids listen without abuse? You know? That's a good question, and I think it really is just different around upbringing, because I know a lot of people that didn't spank their kids, but they did stuff like grounding, talking to them, like time out, I guess, shit like that. And they're actually really great kids. Like, I coached a lot of affluent kids for wrestling, and none of their fucking parents spanked them. And they're fucking amazing ass kids. And I would trust them with my own kids, like those kids. So
everyone been abused here. Yeah, basically.
Did someone say that?
Luis, right before that. So right after the.
Oh, yeah.
But to connect Luis's and Mike's comments, for some kids it works as a behavior corrector, for others it's abuse. To answer your question, how do kids listen without discipline? Everyone has a different personality. And it depends on the stage of your life you're in too. I think, let me try to think of this quote. It was something along the lines of, if they're too young to understand what you're saying, you shouldn't hit them. And if they're old enough to understand what you're saying, you shouldn't hit them, right? And so it's like, if a kid's 2 years old, even though I just said that expression, but even still, at 2 years old, they're not going to be able to understand the consequences of what they're doing. So yeah, I'm gonna smack my kid's hand so that they don't touch the stove and burn their fucking hand off. You know what I mean? I don't think that that's abuse. Now, if you smack my hand and you smack my face at 12 years old, when you could just tell me, hey, that's hot, you probably shouldn't touch that. I think that's different. So it depends on the stage in your life you're in. It depends on your personality. It depends on...
I think it just also, like, I mean, we're kind of getting away from it, but we also have to look at the overall, like, for lack of a better word, like the infrastructure of the family. Like, is it just the parents? Is it a single mom? Is it grandma, our cousins, are other people around to help? Or is it a financially okay family. There's a lot of different things that go into a family in order for kids to feel safe and like they can truly understand what a talking to is versus them ignoring it. And so I think all of that contributes to a child responding to words or not. So, yeah.
Look, dijo, pero como hablan el español tan fluido.
¿Tú crees que hablo español fluido? Porque todos me llaman güera. Pero gracias. ¿Cómo se dice compliment en Spanish?
Cumplido.
Cumplido. No sé algunas palabras. Mi vocabulario es como si fuera en la secundaria. Yo creo. Personalmente.
Su primer idioma era español.
Sí, pero crecí en los Estados Unidos y solo hablé con mis papás y ya no lo practiqué tanto y perdí un poco y hablé más inglés que español y ahora estoy tratando de practicar el español más. Eso es porque nos movimos para acá.
Y yo soy negro. True, but just as you all mentioned, everyone responds differently. Some kids take talking to as weak parenting and they don't respond to grounding or taking things from. Yeah, facts. If your kid is smart, you should be able to explain certain things to them and explain the logic, and they should get it. Without some form of effective discipline, though, when they're grown, that's how you get adults telling their parents to shut the fuck up. Yeah, I agree. But Mike, you're black and you're from the South. So I feel like we're gonna be on the same wave about certain stuff. Like, bro, like I said before, I don't be trying to get like super personal on these things, but I do like to talk about, profound stuff without getting too deep into it. Her relationship with her parents is very different. So sometimes I hear her talking to her parents and I'm like, yo, what the like it almost enrages me. I'm like, I feel like I gotta defend her parents, but I'm like, I didn't grow up with her parents. I didn't have the same childhood as her, so I can't tell her that she's not allowed to talk to her parents like that. But I be want to be like, yo, don't ever talk to your mom like that.
And let me tell y'all, he making me seem like sorry people. Because there is just no better way to put it. He making me seem like I'm some white person telling their kid, a white kid who told their mom to shut the fuck up. I ain't never cussed at my mom or dad. I'll say that. And I've definitely raised my tone. See, this is exactly what. No, I've never. I raised my voice at them though because. Let me talk about my childhood. Oh my God. See, this, I was like, this is why I have to clarify.
Yo, no, she don't be cussing with the tone, and she be like, "Okay, mom, I heard you." And
yes, I'll do that. And here's the thing, like some people don't agree with it, and I'm okay with that because they didn't live my life. Growing up, I was literally abandoned around 10 years old. My parents were literally just not there. My brother and I, we had to take care of ourselves. So we figured everything out from the time from when I was like 10 to 18. So I was just a really good kid and a disciplined kid that I just figured shit out. And that was okay with me. I was independent from the jump. And so I went off to college. I did my own thing. My parents asked me for money. My parents come to me for help for stuff. So I had to take on a parenting role at a very young age. And I'm not saying I'm a parent now, but they also, so on top of that with abuse, them making me like question my life and like I almost killed myself at one point in my life because that's just how hard it was for me. Like, no, I don't respect them the same way that Jalen respects his parents because they didn't give me what I believe a parent should have done to their child. I think they actually dug me in a hole further away from what I really wanted to achieve or be happy, so to speak. So I do talk back to my parents because I don't care. I if they deserve it if I'm talking to them like that.
And that's exactly what I said. I have to be like, yo, this is not my parents. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I used to think that when I was in high school and stuff, like, like she said, white kids. I would hear people talk to their parents a certain way, and I'd be like, that could never be me. So disrespectful, no manners, no discipline, whatever. But If y'all don't know, like my dad always says his whole goal for my childhood was to give me a childhood that I didn't have to recover from, and that's exactly what my parents did. I had no trauma. This is like, I'm not trying to get vulgar or nothing, but I didn't get molested. I didn't even get nothing. Nothing happened to me, bro. Like my childhood was good, bro. Like I had pretty much everything I wanted. Outside of like normal kid stuff where you're like, can you give me a pony, or some shit like that. That's like $6,000. Your parents were like, no. Or like I wanted to go to a basketball camp. It was like 10 G's, and my dad was like, I don't have that. And I'm like, bro, you lying? You got 10 G's? I know you got 10,000. You're in the army, but I had a really good childhood. My parents did everything that they could to make sure my childhood was good. So of course, like she just said, totally different childhood. So I can't even envision disrespecting my parents. As annoying as they get sometimes, and I hope they're not watching this right now, but as annoying as my parents get, like I will sit there and take whatever they say because I'm like, yo, my parents like literally sacrificed everything to make sure that my life was good.
Yeah, and then on top of that, this is like something else. Like at one point in my life, I stopped talking to my dad for like over 2 years. So it's just like there's just certain lines that were just crossed, and I was like, you know what, we don't. And he told me that I wasn't his daughter at one point. So to me, it's just like, okay, if I'm not your daughter, then I will talk to you however the fuck I want to talk to you. Like, it's pretty easy for me. Yeah.
I saw a comment, but I missed it. What was it?
Please clarify.
For me, I think because my parents worked all day and were stressed, us getting in trouble caused them to break and hit us. That's what I think, because they were hit as kids too. Yeah, like I said, I think it was different times when we grew up. I think some of the stuff our parents did wouldn't be acceptable today, but like I said, I don't think it was the same situation. So I don't judge my parents harshly. They did. I genuinely think my parents did the best they could. I'm not saying it to like protect them or something like that. And like even
I mean, I'll say my parents did the best they could too. Like, I don't think they intentionally did everything they did, but with their generational trauma and what they knew was best. But I'm just like, your best was still kind of trash.
so don't.
Soy de Brasil. Soy do Brasil.
Felipe, how do we say we don't speak Portuguese?
No hablemos portugués.
No, but in Portuguese.
No hablo.
No, fala. Falar is speak. So, I don't know how. No, something. Felipe, we need your help. Where are you? No falamos portugués. Or Portuguese. Portuguese.
That's for making everyone think I cuss my parents out. God damn.
That's awesome, Jalen. You got some good parents, man. Yeah, I think I do, bro. Honestly, like I would never say anything negative about my parents, like no matter what.
Do you think your kids will say about your parents when they're at your age?
I don't know, because it depends on what kind of kids we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's real easy to say, oh, we're gonna do this and we're not gonna do this, but we don't actually know. Yeah. So it depends on how their lives turn out. Mm-hmm.
Also, I will say, like, I mean, just right off the bat, we're in a much better situation where I think my parents were by the time they had me, because my parents were immigrants, they were undocumented, they weren't American citizens yet. So they just pretty much had to do any work they could. So we were like super, super fucking poor. So there's that. We're not super fucking poor. We're like, we like to joke we're poor, but we're like, okay, There's that. Number two, like, we speak English. My parents didn't speak English, so we can actually help out our kids with schoolwork, get them the help that they need. I didn't have that. Number three, because of our socioeconomic status, we will be able to attend, like, oh, he has a much different story than this. My parents didn't come to any of my shit growing up, like any achievement ceremonies, any sports things, anything like that, because they were either working or had some bullshit going on. We're going to be able to do that. So we're actually going to be very present in our kids' life, where we might be annoying to them, but I hope that one thing they can say is that we weren't present.
Um, okay, Luis, we'll see you if you get back on before we get
Hey.
off.
Bye, Luis.
And what I will say is, for those that don't know, my household was the complete opposite to the point that it was annoying for us as siblings. My dad, because of his dad, my dad had a similar situation to actual growing up where he had no one there for him. Like he had no one. Like he wanted underwear in college, and he had no parents to send him money. He had nothing. You know what I mean? And so for us, he was like, it's mandatory. Any kind of event, it doesn't matter if it's a spelling bee, a basketball game, a football game, whatever. All of us have to go. I'll take off work. Your mom's gonna take off work. Your sister's gonna leave school early. Like we're gonna show up to your event, and we're gonna be cheering in the stands. And so to me, I'm like, bro, I don't think you guys show up to everything, but that's because I had 100% attendance growing up. I'm like, bro, I actually performed better when my family wasn't there. Like, I can tell you specific games, bro. When I was a freshman, I scored 43 points in a basketball game when my parents weren't there, and like, it took me going to college and going to a what is that shit called? A sports psychologist to realize why I performed better when my parents weren't there. I had like crazy performance anxiety because my parents were such good athletes, and like I was thinking about them like leaving work to come watch me play and shit, bro. They literally showed up to every single thing that I did, and they'll be cheering loud as fuck. And like my mom will always have these criticisms after the game, like, "Oh, you're so much faster than. Why didn't you just run past him? Why didn't you just do this?" And so my dad went to Afghanistan when I was in ninth grade. And so because of that, my mom had to work more. And there was this time where neither one of them were there, bro. And I had no pressure on me. I didn't have to like act a certain way. I could be like the cocky athlete that I was, bro. I was going off, bro. I was balling on these kids, bro. I called my dad the next time I could. I'm like, bro, when you get back from Afghanistan, you're gonna see your kid's a superstar, bro. Told my mom like, yo, I don't know what happened, but like I went crazy when y'all wasn't there. The next game she showed up to, I was trash, bro. My dad came back from Afghanistan. I was playing trash as fuck, bro, and I never could figure it out. I'm like, yo, every time they don't come, I have like the most amazing performance, and then when they come, I don't. So our situations were just like totally different, bro.
Yeah, but then this is another thing. So well, your parents are educated too. But okay, here's the thing. So something I can say is now that being like a youth coach and working with high schoolers and even college athletes, I really understand sports psychology. And Jalen does too. He just spoke about it. And our parents were from a time where they didn't talk about mental health, they didn't understand about performance anxiety. And so now working with athletes who have dealt with that, we actually know how to address those things and how to catch us as parents before we get there. I mean, I hope sometimes. But then also, I know really awesome athletes and really awesome coaches where they don't coach their kids because of stuff like that, because they get so worked up and emotionally spent that they start being people they don't like to their kids. So they just hand off their kids to someone who they trust. And I think that's a really good way to go about that because I know I'm an emotional person, and so I can see myself doing something like that. But I'm okay handing my kid off to someone else to be their coach if I like the coach.
But check this out. I gotta defend my parents because, like I just said, I will never talk shit about my parents because they did the best they could. Let me tell y'all, when I was a little kid, hold on, let me read these comments real fast. I want to be like your pops. I want to be there. That's good. And just said, even though it's weird to say, I'm glad I can relate to Axe's parents' living situation when they came to the U.S.
Yeah.
Is that pressure from your parents? Did your dad say you were trash? No, my dad didn't say I was trash. My dad was more forgiving than my mom was, but my mom, she would just always say, "Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? Like, you could have done this. Like, I could have scored 20 points and should have said, I can't believe you didn't score 40 points. Like, those kids sucked and you're so talented." And I'd be like, what about the 20 points I scored, bro? Like, but it was never enough. That was the problem. For her, it was never enough because my mom had my older sister when she was 14. So she got pregnant in high school, came back and still dominated kids. She had no parents and dominated kids. So for me, she was just like, you got good parents, you got money, you got coaches. Like, why don't you get first place every single time? Why don't you get a 4.0? Why don't you win number one at every single thing when you have a support system? She would literally say that, like, if I had a support system, I would have went to the Olympics. And she, like I said, it was like truly what she thought. It wasn't like she was trying to be mean. She was just like genuinely confused. Like, why isn't my kid number one in the world when they have loving parents and money? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it is popping now, Mike. But like I said, let me defend my parents. I will say this. When I was a little kid, which started my athletic journey, my dad had me out playing football, playing basketball, running, doing push-ups and sit-ups. Darius, I think you might have asked this. Oh no, actually it was Luis that asked that about doing push-ups as punishment. I was doing body weight stuff as punishment from when I was like 3 years old, bro. So I was an incredibly strong, athletic kid. And I was practicing like 2 times a day when I was like 5. And my mom didn't like that. She said I need to be a kid. My dad was trying to like make me this like superhuman. And both of them agreed to basically pull back. Kind of like she said, even though I still felt the pressure, it wasn't nearly as much as they were planning to do at first. My parents were like planning to make me work out twice a day, go to one of the leagues, NBA, NFL, whatever. Like they were going hard, bro. And they pulled back. And so they thought that was being soft. For them, going to 1 time a day, just making sure I worked out every single day, played multiple sports, that was soft for them for what their original plans were. So like I said, to me, they were doing the best that they could at the times, at the time that they were doing it. They were like, my dad said he saw like Michael Jordan and a couple other athletes, and like Michael Jackson, even as a musician. He said he saw the relationship they had with their dads, and he didn't want to damage our relationship as father and son just to make me a good athlete. So he decided to pull back. So like I said, there were, there's no rule book for being a parent. So you just have to like do what you think is gonna work. And it's easy for the kid to say like, oh, well, you should have just did this. But like they don't know that at the time. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I think my parents did 100% did the best that they could. Yeah, and so Rolando, I will say this. I basically have 10 years as either a personal trainer or a strength and conditioning coach. And generally, men do respond better to that. It sounds negative, but if you tell a man, hey, you didn't do this, they respond better to that. Women typically, I'm just saying typically, generally, respond better to you telling them the right thing to do, and they will continue to do that. Like, hey, you did that great. Keep doing this. They will do that. Yeah. You tell a guy, like in weightlifting, bro, we tell a guy, like, hey, that was perfect. You moved the bar in a straight line. Just move it in a straight line and snap just like that again. They'll do some completely random shit. Yeah. And so you have to be like, yo, don't let the bar get away from you. And that's what usually keeps a male mind on track. I don't know why. I hate to break it down in genders like that.
I agree, because by coaching a group of men and coaching a group of women is so different. Because like another example, I'll say like, if I tell a group of girls, I'll be like, hey, some people in this group did not have a good attitude today. They were not pushing themselves as they should have pushed themselves. I want to encourage you guys all to push and give your best so that we grow as a team, whatever. At the end of my speech, it could have just been on 1 or 2 people. I'll literally have every single girl be like, was it me that you were talking about? Was it me? And then if I say that same group to a guy, that same speech, to a group of men, they'll be like, oh, it must have been that guy. And it was like 50 of them. It was like at least half of them. It was, I like with men, I have to be like, no, you literally fucked up. You did this shit wrong and you need to fucking stop. Like, I gotta be so cutthroat with them or else they will be like, oh no, it was him. Like, it's just so different.
Yeah, but to your comment, you said Cristiano Ronaldo, right? He didn't like that. There's obviously going to be outliers in every group because I'm the same way. My coach knows, for one, he doesn't have to say anything to me. If he does tell me something, he's going to tell me the right thing that I did, and say, hey, all you need to focus on when you go back out there is doing this. But one thing that I hate, everyone that lives with me knows this, everyone on my team knows this, my coach knows this. I cannot stand people trying to tell me, like to encourage me. Like I hate cheering, bro. I cannot stand it. When I walk up to the bar, and someone's like, "You can do this. Don't be scared." I really be want to look at them and be like, "Bitch, do I look scared? Like I know I can hit this shit, bro. I don't need you to tell me I'm not. I don't need to be scared and shit like that. I just don't. I don't like that shit, bro. I don't know how to explain it. It's just not my. It's not my style. And so my coach will only tell me, "Hey, you know you can hit this shit. Go out there and do it. You know what you need to do." And I'll be like, hell yeah, I know what I need to do. And I'll go out there and I'll hit it, bro. So it's just like we said about parenting, it's the same thing. There's general things that work, but it's your job as a coach or as a parent or any person in an authority position to figure out like this person needs something different.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like I'll say like we had, so I'm the youngest of 6 kids. Two of my siblings, they're kind of like just rebellious for whatever reasons. There's a lot going into that, but we'll just simplify it to rebellion. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was my parents, I'd probably want to fuck them up too, because they did some wild shit. Like, I'm just like, bro, why are you doing this stupid shit? Like, you don't need to be doing it. But by the time it got to me and my other brother that's above me, he's 2 years older than me, we didn't need spankings. You could have just told us, like, hey, if just don't do this again, please. And I would have been like, okay, that's cool. I won't do it again. But they got fucking crazy because they were already so pissed off on my other siblings that they just went in.
Yeah, another example, at my last job before we moved here, I worked with a lot of soldiers, well, pretty much only soldiers. And I became known as like the shit talking coach. There was like 10 of us on staff, and the coaches would call me a shit talker, the soldiers would call me a shit talker. But they didn't understand the dynamic, bro. They just thought that I talk shit to everybody. So if they saw me talk nicely to somebody, they'd be like, "Oh wow, like why'd you talk like that to him or her or whatever?" Or they'll be like, "Hey, I need you to come talk shit to this guy because he's slacking off." And I just be like, "It don't work like that, bro. I talk shit to certain people because I know they feed off of that shit. I'm not gonna just walk up to someone that's having a bad day and be like, you fucking suck. You can't do this." Like that's not how it works. I will find people that were competitive, through conversation. I would find out what they liked, what they didn't like. Once I realized, like, if I said, like, I don't know, I think that's a little bit too much. Maybe put on this way. They'll be like, what the, like, I'm about to put that on. I know I could do it. Then I'll be like, this guy feeds off of people telling him that he can't do something. So then I would use that to motivate them. I'll say, yo, personally, I don't think you could hit that shit. If you put it on and hit it, I might give you $10, bro, because I'll be so surprised. I just don't think you can do it. And they'll be like, "Yo, watch this shit. I'm gonna put it on and do this." But if I told a dude like, I don't know, 400 is kind of heavy. I think you might want to go with 365. And they're like, "Okay, thanks." I'm not gonna walk it back up to him and be like, "Damn, you a bitch. You put on 365." Like, no, bro. Like, certain people feed off of certain stuff, and you have to know who you're dealing with.
I remember I had a teammate, Monica, in college. She's a fucking crazy ass bitch, let me tell you. And my coach Takara, she like knew that she fed off of of the same shit. And like I remember this day like it was yesterday because it was just the funniest shit. And like it just literally had nothing to do with the wrestling match. Like after it was at the end of the first period, they have a 30-second break. They each go to their coach's corner. So my coach told my friend Monica, like, she's like, she literally just called your mom a bitch. And she said, she's like, not only did she call your mom a bitch, but she's beating your fucking ass right now. She's like, so that makes both of y'all bitches. And then Monica was just like, you could just see the tears in her eyes because she was so pissed. So she goes out there and just literally just slams the girl on her head. And then she wins the match. And I was just like, what the fuck? This is insane.
I'm listening to this. I think it's a reason why I slack off in quality of work if I don't get criticized on my work. It could be, yeah. You gotta find out what you are motivated by so that you can use your self-talk to motivate yourself too. Because I talk shit to myself to get myself hyped to work. You know what I mean? So, Jalen, facts is nothing worse than lifting heavyweight with people cheering you on. The worst, facts, bro. I hate that shit. Just checking in. Hope you and the missus are great. Hope you're doing good too, bro. I appreciate your boxing updates. Shit talking motivates me for sure. I call myself a bitch when I'm working out and considering shortening the workout. Yeah, bro. So, like I just told Angel, I do the same thing. Like in competition, sometimes the judges or people that are real close to me will say something to me after the lift. Cause like when I put my hands on the bar, I just be like, "Are you a bitch or what? Like, don't be a pussy. Like, this is literally what you came out here for." Like, I have to say that to myself. Like, just in case like my body or my mind starts feeling like, oh, this shit's heavy, I don't know if I can lift this, and I'm like, bro, just don't be a bitch, like just fucking lift it. Like, you sound like a bitch right now. I'll say that to myself like out loud, like you sound like a bitch right now, because my mind, I hear those thoughts like, damn, this is 400 pounds, it's kind of heavy, bro. I'm like, don't be a bitch, dog. You only have to do it 3 times, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, 100%. It's the culture of basketball and sports. One of the clearest memories I have is when I said, me and my team set the school record for the 4x400. It still stands to this day. And I just remember I took off kind of slow. And when I used to run, I couldn't hear shit, bro. I would go deaf. Like, I literally couldn't hear nothing, bro. But I could hear my dad's voice. And my dad would say shit like, he would, like in that race, he was like, you gonna hate yourself in the morning, Kylie. You gonna hate yourself in the morning if you don't put all of your effort into this. And I'll be like, damn, you right. I took off slow because normally I was known for catching people, right? But my team was doing really good on this day, and so I got the stick in first place. And I was like, well, I don't want to take off too fast and get tired at the end and have somebody catch me. So I took off slow. But my dad was like, you're gonna hate yourself in the morning, bro. And I was like, you know what, you right, bro. I'm being a little bitch. I just need to run as fast as I can. If the motherfucker catch me, then he's faster than me. If not, then what am I scared of? And after I heard that shit, I took off, bro. So that's how I am. And I mean, there's levels because sometimes people trying to talk shit doesn't work. Like if I don't feel threatened by you or like I don't even know how to explain it. But like if some random person says they could beat my ass, I'd be like, but you can't though. But I think if I truly believe that they believe it, and if there's any doubt in my mind, then I'm like, well, now I gotta beat your ass, bro. Cause like I don't know. Like that's just how it works. Like you said, just the culture of sports. Like LeBron James probably wouldn't care if I said I could beat him 1-on-1, but he probably would care if I don't want to use Kobe, rest in peace, but he probably would care if someone else in the league said that he sucked and they could beat him 1-on-1. You know what I mean? So I love fighting. Can you make a video about finding your motivation when you work on a skill?
Did you burp?
Yeah, I just
That
burped.
smells
My bad.
disgusting, bro. That was really
My bad. I was gonna lean away, but I
yeah,
started
you
reading.
should have leaned away.
Oops, excuse me. I find all this talk really interesting. I think you can make for an interesting video. I think I made a video like that in the past, but I'll make another one. But
Another one.
for me, motivation, discipline, all that shit goes hand in hand, and it's about making yourself care about it, right? Because I know that there's stuff that you do constantly in your life, whether you want to or not, you do it. You go to work, you eat food, whatever, because it's important. You know what I mean? Like you need food to survive. You need work to make money. I would say like I'm just gonna throw out a random example, right? Oh, no, I'm not gonna use a random example. I'll use my own life. I don't really care about lifting weights like that. Like I told y'all before, a lot of people see me and they think I love lifting weights, blah, blah, blah. But why I lift weights? I lift weights so that I can be a vessel to help other people in life. Like, whether y'all think it or not, most people are in this live because of how strong I am. You know what I mean? Like, it's not because of my Spanish. I think my Spanish helps now. But most of my subscribers, followers on all my social media came because I can lift a lot of weight. And then they say, oh, this dude also speaks Spanish. That's pretty cool. And so I just continue to lift weights. I continue to be as fit as possible because I know that a lot of young dudes are like, I want to be strong. And so That's what makes it important to me. It's not the weights themselves. I don't actually care about being strong. If I couldn't squat more than 400 pounds for the rest of my life, I'll be like, well, I just can't. But I do it so that I can reach more people. So it's important to me because of that. And that's what keeps me on the path. When I don't want to go lift weights, I'm like, bro, if I stop lifting weights, I'll literally stop being who I am. I'm not saying I'm going to lift weights for the rest of my life like this, but at the moment, this is how I find that I reach more people. Every time I posted a random weightlifting video on Friday. It wasn't even close to the most weights I've lifted. And that short got like 7,000 views. That might be 10 or 20 more 18-year-olds that are gonna come into this chat or subscribe to me, and they're gonna decide maybe to learn a new language, to travel the world. Maybe they're gonna listen to this and say, oh, maybe I won't abuse my kids now. You know what I'm saying?
Or even like, I would just rather have my child, obviously that's why I married Jalen, I'd rather have my child listening to something like this rather than like, what's that dumbass dude's name?
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, that guy. Like, just saying hella hateful shit. Like, no, I'd rather have my child saying intellectual conversations, concepts, a lot of shit.
Jayla, you said you listen to all music. You want some eclectic music recommendations? Sure, bro. I listen to everything. Like,
I want to drink your drink.
What drink? Oh, the fruit? Go ahead. Dang, that's deep. Young Kobe. See, one of them, bro. Why did you follow me, Young Kobe? Do you remember? The kids love Andrew Tate. I have kids quoting him at school all the time. Yeah, I didn't realize how deep that shit was, bro. There's another dude that runs with him. His name is like Sneeko or something. I'm not gonna say what the kid said, but I saw a video where this kid met Sneeko, and he was saying like, F certain people, they need to burn, they need to blah blah blah, hope they perish. And even he was like, nah, you're not like that. And the kid was like, yeah, F them. And I think he didn't realize what he was doing to kids either. But that shit's crazy, bro. Like, it's just this generation of kids, they got some influences, bro, and they're not great. And I know I won't be able to combat all of that, but I know I can be as positive as possible. You know what I mean? You cut yourself?
Yeah.
Use the butter knife.
Oh yeah, it's this thing cut me.
Yeah, I just try to be as positive as possible. I try to, kind of like we talked about earlier, I try to speak on being me as much as possible, doing what I want to do. And I never try to tell kids, you should be like this. I just kind of tell them what I do. And if they follow some of that, that's better than none of it, I think, a lot of times. I never want to tell people how they should be, but I just want people to think for themselves. And I think when you think for yourself, most of the time it leaves you in a good place. I think thinking takes you to a good place. I think it's when you don't think and you listen to clowns that you end up in bad situations. So yeah, but Andrew, I'll still make the video. But I love to talk about that shit, bro. Like I said, this is why I do these lives. This is why I make videos in the first place. Before I ever made this YouTube account, I had my old YouTube account. You could go back and look at that one if you want to. I think I was like 18 years old. I was making the same kind of videos, but it was more of my music than anything. And I just wanted to start fresh with this one. And I first made this one for fitness only. I wasn't even thinking about making these kind of videos, but people on my Instagram would be like, hey, can you talk about this topic? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. And yeah, like I said, people want to hear this stuff. They'd be like you just said, can you make a video about motivation, discipline, whatever? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. If that's what people want. The best way, whatever way I can help people, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Lack of positive parental influence and bad friends. Yeah, I agree. A lot of my young clients, a lot of my young people on here, they don't have good dads or good parents at all. And so literally they get all their info all their influence from YouTube videos, rappers, basketball players, whatever. Some of them are good, but a lot of them aren't. You know what I mean? A lot of them are in the exact same situation. So, like I said, my goal is to balance that out a little bit, hopefully. Uh, I actually got in the bed, so let me get back in this chair. I got 18-year-olds thinking they're failures if they aren't earning thousands of dollars per month, and they're seriously concerned that they're losers. Yeah, bro, I've seen a lot of that. That's a big conversation on Twitter pretty much every week. Like, could you date a guy that isn't making 90K? I'm like, bro, most people in America don't make 90K. Like, literally, like, not even close. But the internet has people thinking that everyone makes 250 or more or whatever, bro. So completely random, I have picked this excavatum. So my chest is slightly caved in. Any inner chest workouts? I got a lot of chest workouts, bro, but I don't 100% know what that condition is. I'm about to look it up right now. Is yours severe or minor? Those discussions played a large part in my slowdown of Twitter, for the record. I feel you, bro. Cause like, bro, some days I get on there and I'm like, I'm about to delete this app, bro. Like, it's just the dumbest discussions ever, bro. It's like, on almost all of those discussions, it's like, bro, the person you're dating just doesn't like you. Like, I don't know what more to say than that. Like, any regular person, bro, like most people, I'm like, kind of like Angel just said, money is important, but it doesn't make the person. Even outside of that, most people don't care about money that much because most people are all in the same situation. We're just trying to make it, bro. And so most people are willing to figure out whatever situation with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not rich. I'm not even close to rich, bro. Like, even until my last job, I was way less stable than I was when I got that job. Like, I actually didn't care, bro. It was never just like, how much are you making? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like, we want to make sure we're not about to get evicted and shit, but it was never on no shit like that. Like, hey, if you're not making this much and this much and this much. In fact, like, if y'all ever, I mean, I'm sure she's been on here before and said it. She didn't even like me to pay for shit. So that would kill half of the Twitter discussion. She did change her mind now. She does like being paid for it now. But when she met me, she didn't want me to pay for a lot of shit. Everyone on social media makes like 100K or more. Yeah, facts, bro. I just try to stay away from those discussions. Like, and I try to tell everyone in those discussions, bro, go outside, go talk to some people. And I feel like that's for most issues. Like, even most political stuff. You know, we're not supposed to talk about politics and stuff like that at work, but every job I've been at, like all my clients in personal training, bro, I've had some real deal conservative clients. And I'm not gonna say I'm very far on the left, but I think people will consider me left leaning if they talk to me. And I had great conversations with those people, bro. One on one, those people will be like, oh no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I agree with. I just think this. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But on the internet, it's just here or here, right? But in real life, people are more like this. It's like, oh, okay, you think this. I don't exactly agree with that, but I get what you're saying. Most of the time, if you talk to somebody one on one, at the end of the conversation, y'all could be like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't exactly agree, but I get what you're saying. I'm not gonna beat you up over it. On the internet, everybody wants to fight. Gotta stay off the news and the wrong side of the internet. Facts. Orlando says conservative in the U.S. or Colombia. No, my clients in the U.S. I was in the real conservative part of Washington, and so I had a lot of like people would walk in like, yeah, you see this clown? You see this clown Joe Biden? Did you hear what he said about blah blah blah? And I just be like, let's start working out, and then we can talk about it. And by the end of the conversation, like I said, I'll be like, do you think he was wrong about this? And they'll be like, well, no, he wasn't wrong about that, but and I'll be like, okay, so he's not exactly a clown for that. He just, you just didn't agree with this part. But it's not like he just said some outrageous shit. And I'll be like, yeah, I guess I didn't think about it like that, but blah blah blah. And I feel like that's how most conversations go. Yeah, no, I do hate when people force me into political conversations. I will say that. I'm willing to talk about certain stuff with certain people that I respect, that I think are intelligent. If I feel like it's not gonna be, if I feel like it's not gonna be an intelligent conversation, I'll 100% sidestep it, and I'll just be like, "Hey, let's not talk about this." And I'll try to do that in the nicest way possible. Most people I'm not talking about political stuff with, to be honest. It's not something I want to talk about. I'm not very interested in talking about stuff that I can't change too. So, you know, if we're not talking about history, um, I don't want to talk about stuff in the present that I can't change. If you're just telling me like Joe Biden sucks, I'll be like, what you want me to say back to that, bro? Like, you want me to agree with you? You want me to disagree with you so we can argue about nothing? Now, we're talking about stuff that we can change, maybe, But I find that most people in politics don't even talk about stuff that they could change locally, bro. You can complain to your congressman about potholes. Not even your congressman. You can complain. You can literally report a pothole and get it fixed. Nobody does that shit. They're like, fuck, these fucking potholes in Washington. They never get fixed. I'm like, did you report it? Did you tell whatever our fucking electrical service is, whatever the company is that fixes power lines, that fixes potholes, did you report this site? If you didn't, shut the fuck up. No one does that shit. No one tries to fix local stuff. They just look at the nation's news, the world news, and they get pissed, bro. And I'm like, bro, who cares? Like, you not changing that shit, bro. Fix the stuff in your city, in your neighborhood, and you might make the world a little bit better. Why am I sitting here arguing about Congress? They legit don't know that I exist. Yeah, facts, bro. And they getting stacks. They be raising their own fucking income, bro. They're like, 250,000 is not enough. We need 275K so that we can take more vacations. I can't do the celebrity talk either. Something to me seems off about talking about complete strangers in their lives when they don't even know you exist. I don't get it. I agree. I'm not gonna lie, I do it every once in a while. But that's usually the point that I end up reaching. I'd be like, you know what? I'm not about to keep talking about this shit, bro. Why are we talking about this right now? You know what I mean? I think I only talk about that stuff these days, maybe to use them as an example for something. But just for straight up gossip, I'm not doing that. thinking people hate on presidents but have never voted. Voted for mayor, people who have direct correlation in their life to their life. Yeah. Even the mayor, like I said, there's much lower level stuff than that. Like I said, you can get potholes fixed, you can get lampposts fixed, stop signs fixed, all kinds of stuff. You can make changes in your local school, all kinds of stuff. But it's just, I don't know, it's more fun for people to talk about worldwide stuff because everyone's talking about it. And it's like, I need to make a stand here and let people know. What's my favorite instrument to hear in music? That's a tough one. Maybe a violin, or hold on, let me I just want to get this instrument right before I say it. What instrument is it in? Oh, the flute. I was thinking of Mask Off by Future. That shit go hard, bro. Like, I don't even really like Future like that, but that shit, bro, you hear that flute? That shit go crazy. I love hearing that. Oh, yeah, bro. Catch you guys on the next one. All right, Mike. Appreciate you, bro. It's pretty late. Usually when you get off, I'll be like, yeah, it's time for me to get off. It's a little lit. I stay in until it quiets down. What's the story on the thumbnail? Bro, literally, it was just the last picture in my camera roll, and I was like, this is disgusting. And
Can I use the laptop?
yeah. And so I put it in because it was the last.
I thought I could do it on my phone, but it was too small.
Oh, you better stay right here. You better take it.
No, I'm not taking it. You want to stay here?
No. Ooh, the accordion is good too. I don't know if you was in here earlier when I was talking about the people across the hall this morning. They were listening to Vallenato, which is like the local Colombian music. And they use an accordion. It was like 7 in the morning, bro. I'm like, turn that shit off, dog. Like, I like the genre, but.
Give me the journal too, please.
Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Skunky Boat Man, we all do it to an extent, but some people are consumed by it throughout their daily life. Yeah, 100%. Facts, bro. Some people, I'm just like, you need to get a life. No, don't get me wrong, Angel. I like hearing it. Just not at 7 in the morning when I thought I was going to sleep in this morning. That's the problem. But Vallenato is cool. I like the genre. I like the accordion. But imagine going to bed at 2 or 3 a.m. and thinking, I need to sleep till like 9 or 10 to feel okay. And then you just hear accordions. 7 a.m. Allahu Akbar. Icon, why you keep putting Allahu Akbar in the chat, bro? Last time you wrote it in Arabic, this time you wrote it in the transliteration, but why you keep doing that? I played bassoon, but it wasn't my style. Are you learning a new instrument now? Or did you just stop with that? Yo, I drink a lot of liquid, so I really have to use the bathroom. So I'm gonna run away for about 30 seconds, but it's already late, so y'all can't leave. Because if I come back here and nobody's in here, I'm gonna hang up, or I'm gonna end the live, whatever. I'll be back.
Hi everyone. because I was supposed to do my homework still like an hour and a half ago, but I got distracted by the conversation. So I'm not gonna go over there because I need to focus on my homework. So y'all can stare at my back doing homework.
I'm back. It scares people when I say it. I seen it with someone before, never knew his name. I really don't know that much about instruments, to be honest. Kinda sometimes, but not really. So, look, y'all, I'm rich. 50,000. Depends on where you're staying at. Depends on if you want a furnished spot, unfurnished spot. $300 to $500, I would say, for something nice, furnished, and in a decent spot. If you want to be closer to the hood, it'd be less money. If you want unfurnished, even less money. But that's not what we were looking for. It says 7 people are in here. Interesting. If you're in here and you haven't given the live a like, that's crazy, bro. Why haven't you liked the live? You know what? Let me see. I can do a poll from my phone. Let's see. Live stream. Like. All right, y'all should be able to see the poll now. Damn, y'all voted fast as hell. Respect. Respect. I feel like somebody's lying, but what time is it where y'all at right now? I need everybody that's in here listening right now to tell me what time is it where you live at. Juan Jose Aguilar Perez. I don't understand English very well because I'm from Colombia. ¿De dónde sos vos? ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde es usted? Jalen, this is a random question, but what do you think about sports gambling? I think it's probably not a great idea. I feel like you're gonna get to a point where you start gambling all your money away, which is not great. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying I don't bet. I give people predictions. Sometimes they send me money when they win. But No, I don't think gambling is great. I think it's kind of like drugs. Actually, if you read a couple studies, if I had a laptop, I'll show you. Maybe later. Gambling is like drugs in a sense that you get a dopamine hit from the thought of gambling, from the act of gambling, more than you do from winning. So thinking, I need to put this bet down. I know that the Cowboys are going to do this. You're going to get a dopamine hit off of that. If they actually win, it doesn't even feel as good. 840. It's 840 where you're at, bro. It's 1040 here. That's crazy. King TV. I don't know how to like. What? Bro, there's no way you don't know how to like. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, bro. You need to look for the like button. Oh, you know what? If you're on your phone, it actually might be hard to do. Let me see. Because I'm on my phone right now. Let's see. I don't know. You might have a point. King TV gets a pass. King TV, how come you never talk? 8:40 Pacific time. 10:40. Darius is 10:40. You on Texas time. I should have known that. But King TV, how come you never talk? You just been sitting up in here listening or what? What you been up to, man? Juan Perez, ¿dónde estás? No pass. He just has to hit the X on the chat, hit like, then reopen the chat. I don't know. I don't think I ever watched lives from my phone, so I don't actually know. The new caliphate where I'm the king. Bro, what are you talking about? Jefferson Josue. Brasil. Tudo bem? I observe and learn. What have you learned? Have you learned anything from this live stream? If you haven't, then I need to change my stream so that you learn more. I mean, rooting against the Cowboys is always a safe bet. You're 100% correct. Same todo. Unfortunately, Jefferson Josue, that's all I know in Portuguese. I don't know anything else in Portuguese, so this is the end. Do you speak English? Do you speak Spanish? Você fala inglês? English. We're almost at, oh no, we already passed 2 hours. This is a good stream. It started off rough, I'm not gonna lie. If y'all would have been here like the first 15 minutes, I almost got off.
But who saved the day?
But AXA saved the day. AXA decided that I should keep streaming for at least 10 more minutes, and then more people came in, and so frustrated Jalen did not win. King TV, you still didn't tell me what you are learning from observing. What is your objective? What are you aiming to learn? Maybe I can help you learn more. I never really know why people enter my live streams. I don't know what they're listening to. So if you tell me what you're here for, I might be able to help you more. Possibly. Also, I'm pretty sure I get more viewers when Axe is on the camera. Because y'all are perverts, probably. Our language is full of freshness. Jefferson, are you going to help me speak Portuguese? You help me speak Portuguese, I hope you speak English. I have a friend in Rio. Felipe. Sometimes he's in the chat. I don't think he's here right now. But Felipe speaks Portuguese and English. Felipe is supposed to help me, and I never message him, but I really need to start learning. The thumbnail, you like that? Oh man, it was the last picture on my phone, so I just put it up there. Feet loaf. I thought that shit was hilarious. Jefferson, ¿puedes entender el español o no? I'm using the translator. Estás utilizando el traductor. Ok, sí. Sí. Ok. ¿Me ayudas? ¿Me ayudas con el portugués? Y te ayudo con el inglés. Español. Sí. ¿Hablas español o no? ¿O puedes entender por qué hablas portugués? Me and my Spanish teacher are making an assignment up where we have a conversation in Spanish, and I got 100% on it. Aplauso. Congrats. How old are you, and when did you take Spanish? Jefferson dijo, me voy. Okay, chao, Jefferson. Hasta luego, nos vemos. Bro, my phone is too small to read Arabic characters. If I had my laptop, I would try to read it. It's just hard for me to see the markings to get the accents. Maybe if I get the laptop back, I will try to read that. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Nah, I can't see that. That shit's hurting my eyes. 15, and I'm in Spanish 2 this school year. You can read Arabic? Yeah, I can read Arabic. I can read it, and I'm not gonna say I can speak it, but I grew up my dad's fluent in Arabic, so I do know a little bit. I can read it and write it. How about that? I can read it and write it. But I don't know, like how small it is on my phone, I can't see that shit. So I need to see like bigger text. You might have not known, but there's like a whole bunch of Arabic on my arm, which a lot of people would say is blasphemous where I grew up at. But that's why I keep it under my shirt. King TV, can you read Arabic? Cool. Once upon a time, I tried. The alphabet destroyed it for me. You know what? Once you get past that, man, it's not that bad. The cool thing about Arabic is just like Spanish, where it's very phonetic, right? And I think those are easier languages. When you can look at something and say, I know it sounds like this, you're in a good place. You might have trouble with the definition. You might have trouble with stuff after that, but I think it's worse if you read like English. You read something and you don't actually know if you're pronouncing it the right way. I think that's tough. I feel bad for people that are learning English. Marivispo, porque pusiste esa emoji. Darius, good stream tonight, bro. I'm out. Gotta get ready for the work in the AM. Peace. All right, bro. Good luck with your ankle. If you ever need some online training, hit me up. You get a discount because you're the homie. Peace. Have a good night. Also, King TV, if you tried that, what else have you tried? Do you speak multiple languages? Are you trying to learn a language right now? I'm gonna force my ass to speak run Spanish when I can cuss. Oh, when I can, because my phone is messed up. You should. You should find someone to talk to if you're not in Spanish class anymore. Find someone to talk to. You'll learn a lot just by having conversations. Just by having conversations. English spelling is definitely hard. Yeah, facts. Some stuff like whenever I hear certain Spanish speakers try to pronounce words and they get it super wrong, I'm like, I feel bad because like that's a totally reasonable guess. But English is just so crazy. Like, there's no way that you can know Arkansas is Arkansas without just hearing it. Yeah, I'm conversational in Spanish. That's how I found your page. Oh, okay, that's dope. You plan on or have you taken any trips? If not, do you plan on taking any trips? And what has your process been like? I'm always interested to know how people learn, what has worked for them, what hasn't worked. Cause like, obviously I live in Colombia now, but all the Spanish I learned was in the United States, which is hard for a lot of people to believe. Like, I learned that shit basically in my house, bro. My friend lived here and he taught me, but it was all like via Skype. I never had gone to a Spanish speaking country before. This is my first time actually. The icon, why you why are you putting Arabic in the chat? I know you don't speak Arabic, especially because you're like a Russia fanatic. So I have to wonder, what are you trying to achieve? They say that English and Dutch are the Spanish and Portuguese of the West Germanic languages, but I can't understand the British. If you hear Dutch, it makes sense. I've heard Dutch, and I don't have any examples offhand, but I've heard Dutch, and I've been like, wow, that's really, it's really close to English in a weird way. It kind of sounds like, Dutch sounds like a drunk German trying to speak English. That's what it sounds like. So I definitely get why people say that, because that's how I feel about Portuguese. Portuguese sounds like a French person trying to speak Spanish. A drunk French person trying to speak Spanish. But obviously like Dutch and English are not super close. But like I said, you hear certain words and you're like, oh yeah, I see that. I see they're definitely related. You know what? This person, Marivispo, they never came back. Marivispo, ¿qué pasó? But yeah, you 15, man. Stick to your Spanish studies, man. Make sure you go hard on that shit. Because when I was your age, I was in Spanish 2, I was in Spanish 3. I thought it was a waste of time. I barely did what I needed to do to pass the classes. And like 8 years later, bro, I was like, I wish I could speak Spanish. I wish. I took it more seriously. And I'm not gonna say I started from scratch because I never forgot like the alphabet or the numbers or like real basic words, but I basically started from scratch. With learning Spanish, I started with Duolingo and reading a lot. I stunted my growth because I didn't learn the alphabet until years later and I didn't speak for a while. That makes sense. I always tell people to start with the alphabet and start with the sounds. And from there, I feel like you can do anything. But yeah, that makes sense. I tried to learn Mandarin Chinese when I was 8, and now I only remember 5 words. It's definitely a use it or lose it thing, but to an extent. There's a level that you reach in anything, sports, language, whatever, where you can only fall back so far. So like I truly feel like even if I stop speaking Spanish for 10 years, I will still be able to have a conversation. I just think it will be really, really rough. Whereas like maybe 2 years ago, had I stopped, then after 10 years, I think I would have been in a bad place. I wouldn't have been able to have a conversation. So I feel like once you get to a high level of something, even if you fall, you still fall like in the middle, not below the threshold. Same thing with like basketball and stuff. Every once in a while, I pick up a basketball and I'm like, I can still dribble. I just kind of suck at shooting. And I think if someone was defending me, I wouldn't be able to control the ball like I want to. But it's not like I pick up a ball and I'm like, oh, like how do I dribble? I don't know. Um, it's like they say, it's just like riding a bike, right? So that's the goal, to get to a point where even if you fall off, or even if you don't have someone to practice with for a while, you don't just like fall back below a level where you can't even have conversations and stuff. So now I'm getting interested. Now we're talking about languages. This is what I like. But yeah, you're 15, man. Stick to your studies, man. Just keep doing it. Like I said, find someone, make friends with someone, or find someone to practice with, so that you keep doing it when you're not even in class anymore. Because you're gonna get done with Spanish 2, Spanish 3, whatever you're in, and it's gonna feel like, oh, it hasn't been that much time. And it's gonna be like, oh, it's been a year, it's been 2 years, it's been 3 years, and you wouldn't have practiced. And like I said, you're gonna fall back a lot. So if you can make a friend, or if you can do something right now, it'll keep you going with it. Then 10 years from now, bro, you'll be 25, crazy fluent. Just keep going, bro. Muscle memory, yeah, exactly that. Yeah, there's some stuff like I'm not gonna say injured, but I've been dealing with an injury for a lot of time this year. And I'm just now getting back to being like pretty healthy since I moved out here actually. And yeah, like the first squat session I had, I was like, fuck, bro, like this is weak. But it's just like every week, I just put a shit ton more on. Like I think I uploaded on here. Last week I squatted 415, no belt, it was fairly easy. Nah, it's nowhere near like what I've squatted before, but like you said, it's muscle memory. So I'm like, yeah, this week I'll do 425, 435, maybe 445, and I'll just keep getting back to where I was at. Because I've already done it, so it's not like my brain's like, can I do it? It's like, all right, it's time to do it again. I'm gonna dip out because it's late. But yeah, good talk, and I'm gonna take what you said into consideration, bro. Good night. Good night, man. Yeah. If you don't take anything else from this chat, keep going, bro. Be consistent for as long as you can. But have a good night. See you another time, maybe. 11 o'clock for me. It's getting thin, boys. It's getting thin. People falling off. Might get off soon. I'm at 144 minutes, so what I'll do is I'll go to 150 minutes, assuming the conversation doesn't pick up. If people have stuff to say, I'll stay on. If not, I'll get off. Now that I'm on my phone, I can't actually see who's in here, so if you're listening right now, you're being very silent. You should say one thing. One thing. Say something nice. The icon, he never has anything nice to say, so he's excluded. He's gonna say something about World War III or Russia or something like that. But everyone else, say something nice. And 12 people liked the stream, so what I'm gathering is that I need to put polls like this more often. I need to ask people, did they like the stream, in order to get them to actually like the stream. Something nice. Rolando, have you been here the whole time, bro? Why aren't you talking? Tell me some other words you like, or tell me something that you learned recently. I know you've been educating yourself. Also, look at this. 1984 in Spanish. I came a little late, so maybe you said this, but how has it been moving out there? Fairly easy, difficult? You know what? I don't have any complaints, man. I think, to be honest, the transition was a lot smoother than I expected. I was a little worried about maybe not being able to communicate myself out here, or not understanding whatever, getting lost, whatever. But it's been all good. Like, people are really nice here. If you don't understand something, if you don't know the food, if you don't know a custom, they'll like explain it. Like, oh yeah, you don't know this? Like, this shit's easy. The Ubers are nice, because a lot of times, like, the addresses here are weird. I don't know how to explain it. I wouldn't know how to explain it unless you were literally right here, and I'll be like, you see how this shit says 3B? It's supposed to be 3A. It's on the opposite side of this. But they constantly like send the Ubers to the wrong place, and they're super nice. All you gotta do is just tell them like, hey, the GPS sent you here. I'm actually on this street, and they'll be like, okay, boy, like I'm on the way right now. And so overall, it's been fairly easy. Trying to think of something that's been difficult, but to be honest, like I said, like the whole process, like I said, the people are nice. Everything's good. I like it. There's a region in Spain where Spanish hasn't evolved for 1,000 years, so they really speak Castilian, like it's 1,000 years ago. It's called Fala. But I don't think I knew that. I think I've heard of that concept. I don't think I knew that specifically. I definitely knew that there was a region where it hasn't evolved. Because there's a couple areas like that in Spain where things are very different. And it's still like pure Castellano, but I don't know much about Spain. I went to Spain once when I was smaller, but I haven't been as an adult. I don't watch much Spanish content. Me and Axel watched a show from Spain. I thought it was cool, but the most I know, and this is something that I enjoy telling people, is that Andalusia is directly responsible for how Caribbean Spanish sounds. And in fact, if you listen to Andalusians talk, they speak faster than Caribbean Spanish speakers. And you can hear exactly why Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, coastal Colombians, Venezuelans, you can hear exactly why they sound the way that they sound, because it comes from Spain, it comes from southern Spain. And the more interesting part is Caribbean Spanish speakers tend to do like the lambdacism, right? Where they change R for L. So they say hablar or mi amor instead of mi amor. And Andalusians do the opposite, where instead of saying like el alma, that's the soul, they say el arma. So stuff like that. So I find that stuff super, super interesting, especially because people are like, oh, Caribbean Spanish is broken, Caribbean Spanish is improper. But I'm like, that shit comes straight from Spain, dog. Like that is like directly from Spain. You can literally hear it, bro. If you listen to someone from Andalusia talk, you're gonna be like, is this a Puerto Rican? Is this a Cuban? Like, and like I said, they talk fast. And they do the same aspirations. It's a little bit more explosive, actually. Their aspirations with the S before the or the E before the S or the S before the T. So Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, whatever. I'm generalizing right now, but a lot of them say "como está," but they'll say "como está." It's like a hard, like damn, bro, like that shit was way more than an aspiration. Unfortunately, people think of them as hillbillies. They don't value the linguistic heritage of it. Yeah, 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 of course. That's all. That's anybody that speaks something that hasn't evolved, right? Because it has evolved. And I think we talked about that. How there's a region in Ecuador where people still speak with the proper double L, right? So instead of saying, uh, I'm totally blanking on double L words right now. I can't think of any double L. Give me a double L word, bro. But you know what I'm saying. They do the LH instead of the double L, right? Uh, kind of like Portuguese. And so, yeah, people that hear that, they're gonna be like, you're just wrong, bro. Like, get with the times. Which is somewhat true. Languages evolve. Like, it reminds me of recently the dictionary, like Webster, added Riz and some other words. People are like, I can't believe they added these words. And I'm like, bro, that's literally what a dictionary is. A dictionary is just a collection of the things that people say on a daily basis. It's not the opposite. A dictionary is not like, we put this in here, this is how you need to talk. They just put stuff in that we all say. If everyone says something, bro, it's the correct thing now. Like that's how it works. So unfortunately, that's how it works. So it's up to the people if they want to preserve something, they have to all preserve it together. If everyone moves on, then I'm not gonna say you're incorrect, but you're behind the times now. So, but you're right. It is sad that people don't value the linguistic heritage of it. I would agree. But yeah, it's an interesting topic. Language is it's very complex. For instance, arbor, volta, arbol. Oh, I didn't even know that. I kind of know that because in English, actually, Phil's not in here today, but Phil sent me something in English, and I was like, does this have to do with trees? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I only knew that because it looks like arbol, right? But it was in English. Some shit about trees. It's like I can't even think of what the word is in English because it looks so weird to me. But I knew it was like some kind of garden tree thing, arbitorium or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, super super interesting. I was gonna say something else about language. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Don't matter. We talked about the RL transition from Latin to Spanish before. Oh yeah. But I was talking about in Andalusia they just say words that are L, they change it to R. Like I said, the opposite of Caribbean Spanish. Caribbean Spanish speakers change R's to L's. Lambdacism I can't think of what it is when you change R's to or L's to R's. It's called like rhodism, something like that. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. The point is you change L's to R's. Like I said, instead of alma, they say arma. Eres mi arma. Which sounds like you're calling them a gun, but whatever. Yeah, so language is interesting. And it's always wrong, pretty much, to tell people that they speak incorrectly. They probably speak like the people that taught them how to speak. Got the hiccups. So, me and Rolando have talked about this on the stream probably at least 20 times. Lots of Mexicans and even Puerto Ricans. In the past tense, they'll add S's in the tuvo. So instead of saying dijiste, they dijistes, hiciste, hablastes. If everyone's doing it, is it incorrect? It's debatable. It's normal. The theory in linguistics is that speaking requires calories. Therefore, we subconsciously simplify what we say to preserve energy. Oh yeah, facts. Facts. And to add to that, I can't give anything factual right now, but I can give you an idea. They have definitely noticed that up in the mountains where it's colder, I want to say there's more aspirations in those regions. Kind of the same way that like in the Caribbean, English speakers and Spanish speakers alike, they kind of change certain words so that they're cut off. So definitely geography plays a part in that, because if it's too hot or too cold, talking more requires more energy. So you start cutting certain things off. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, pretty much everywhere. Especially if you're like not in an academic setting, you see the same stuff happening. Like people aspirate S's and they eat S's at the end of the words. Like here is real bad. Like, let me see. I can type it. Can I type it? No, I can't type on here. This is crazy. Whatever. Instead of saying like vos sabes, they say vos sabes. Like they don't say either one of those S's. So if you're not familiar with it, you will definitely get lost. Or like I said, instead of saying nosotros, they say nosotros. They aspirate that S in the middle and they just eat the one at the end, which helps you talk faster. So that's why I think a lot of people that learn like quote unquote proper Spanish, or they're from places where people speak with all the letters, they find that they can't understand Caribbean Spanish speakers, or they think it's really too fast to hear, blah, blah, blah. It's just because they're not used to aspirating or eating the S's. And so then the words sound completely different to them. Whereas if you're used to doing that, the people that speak properly, quote unquote properly, it just sounds super slow, but you can hear everything. Or if you hear people talk the way you talk, it sounds normal. So, but yeah, it's very, very common here. People will just skip right on past S's at the beginning of words. And at the end, they almost never exist, to be honest. It's one thing that's super, I can't think of like how to say it in English, but like super characteristic of this place is that they will say, like I just said, they don't say the S's sometimes in the beginning, but on purpose, they really be like, no señor, no señora. Like they do not even try to say the S at the beginning. Like, and it sounds funny if you're not from here. I don't think they think anything of it, but me and Axel laugh at that a lot. No señor. No, señora. It's pretty fucking funny, to be honest. It is normal for them. Damn, 160 minutes. This is too lit. Is that in Colombia? Yes, specifically Cali, Colombia. There are other places that do that, but I don't live there, so I'm not about to speak on those places. But I'm just saying, in Cali, they aspirate the S hard, bro. No señor, no señora, no otro. Vos sabés. Like I said, instead of saying vos sabes, vos sabés. I do know that like in Cartagena, uh, Buenaventura, some of like the coastal towns, they speak closer to Caribbean Spanish, so they some of them turn their R's into L's. They talk fast as fuck. They aspirate the S. They eat the S at the end, but it's still different than a Cali accent. To me, I used to think that the Cali accent wasn't heavy, but now that I moved here, I'm like, oh yeah, this shit's heavy. I think I didn't talk to enough people from Cali before. I just used to think they had like kind of a neutral accent. They do not. Not at all. Not at all. If you come here, you're gonna be like, God damn, bro, why y'all talk like that? Especially because they're using el voceo, and then they're aspirating, and then they're eating the S, and then they're using crazy slang. Like it's a lot to take in if you're not somewhat prepared for it. The good thing is, if they don't know you, they're probably gonna speak to you with usted instead of el voceo, so it won't be so crazy. But even still, they still talk very different. Very different. King TV says, haha. But yeah, Rolando, like I said, specifically Cali, Colombia. You should visit. It's very nice, man. I like it out here. You know, people are gonna say what they say about dangers here, but it's not that bad. I've noticed that Spaniards don't pronounce D's, for instance, limpial. That's what I was saying earlier. That's a super characteristic of Caribbean Spanish and Colombian Spanish. I had to kind of teach that to Axa because that's how I learned how to speak Spanish. So like, to me, that sounds completely normal, right? But if you grew up speaking a different way, then it sounds like something's being omitted. To me, I'm like, how else are you gonna say it? Like, to me, the thought of saying, let me see, the thought of saying limpiado, like, I'm like, what the why would you waste your energy saying that shit, bro? Like, limpiado or comprado. Or like when that's my favorite thing to say. Oh, estoy cansado, estoy cansado. But like, I can't imagine. I literally cannot imagine saying estoy cansado. Like, I feel like you have to take so much energy to say cansado. Like, why would I do that, bro? Estoy cansado. Or people like, same thing. Andalusia, Caribbean Spanish here. You're not gonna say nada. You say nah. No, tú no vas a say nah. You know? So, different. It's just different. And like I said, if you've never heard it before, it might sound very crazy. But if you have, it's just normal. Everyone in Colombia talks like that. Like how Colombians say kids. You know how like Mexicans say like morra, right? Colombians call kids pelao or culicagao. But nobody's gonna say pelado, bro. Like that's literally not gonna happen here, bro. No one talks like that here. It's always gonna be pelado. Mexicans do it as well. I do it. However, I've always been told that is de mala educación. You know, that's the good thing about places like this. Literally everyone talks like that, educated or not. So no one's ever gonna be like, oh, you're speaking like a hood rat by saying that. Like, bro, everyone here talks like that. For example, instead of me saying vete para allá, I said vete para allá. Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. It's a little bit different because that's actually not a linguistic difference. That's just uh, a personal preference on shortening it, like saying pa que instead of para que, right? That's not like, oh, the country says this like this. The linguistic difference and what we just talked about, omitting that D, everyone talks like that. It's not like a personal preference. Like, oh, I want to say limpiado. Like, no, like that's how people talk here. Whereas, like, para que, pa que, yeah, most people are going to say pa que, but like, no one's going to be like, why did you say para que? Whereas, like, if you say limpiado, automatically you're not from here because nobody talks like that. Hearing limpiado definitely sounds out of the ordinary. Yeah, bro, like literally sounds strange to my ears. Like, I'm not even joking. But yeah. That is definitely slightly different, but it's similar though. Because like we just talked about, you're conserving energy by not saying so much, right? So like lots of Puerto Ricans, and I'm only speaking on Puerto Ricans because I just don't know that many Dominicans and Cubans, but Puerto Ricans, my barber would always be like, voy pa'l sauna. Like, he's never gonna say para el. Like, he's just literally never gonna do that. Voy pa'l sauna. I've noticed Spaniards are less concerned about speaking properly. I think we Mexicans sometimes speak with an inferiority complex and are too concerned about being judged. I think we're worried about probably being thought of being part of lower social status. Yeah, that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal behavior and thought process of a colonized place. It's just facts. Colonized cultures, they're like that. Actually, I saw someone tweet, why is it that someone that's from blank part of Mexico is considered not real Mexican because they grew up with money, because they didn't have this experience? And I actually replied to him. I'm like, it's funny because it's the same thing with black people. If you grew up in a certain place, if you didn't go through certain stuff, it's like, yeah, he's black, but he ain't really black though. And it's like, why do you have to struggle? Why do you have to be poor? Why do you have to do this to be really black? Like, it's a weird thing that's happened to cultures that have been colonized. Like, if you do certain low class stuff, you get judged for it. And if you're just too educated and you're too far away from that low class stuff, it's like, psh, this guy ain't one of us. He wants to be white. He wants to be this. And it's like, bro, you can't win. No matter what you do, you cannot win, bro. I used to, it's funny because, when I went to college and shit, because I went to college in New York, so people would just like consistently talk about how my accent and how I was like faking, like when I would say like y'all, or like when I said here, instead of saying like here, like however the fuck people say here, I don't know, bro. Like, but people would like call me out on that shit all the time to the point where I'm like, damn, I can't even talk, bro. Like, people always on my shit. But where I grew up, when I would visit my family, they would tell me like, why you talk so proper, right? Oh, he too scared to say her. He's saying here. And I'm like, bro, you said the same fucking thing. Like, it's the same shit. So it was like I was too proper for my country ass family, and then I went to college and I was too country for educated people. So I was like, damn, bro, I'm just taking L's on both sides, bro. Sad but true. But yeah, man, that's it's just the way it is, man. Just the way it is. If you grow up in a minority culture, like I said, especially if you're in a place that's been colonized, which is most of the world, like it's gonna be hard to get out of there without dealing with some kind of stuff like that. Feeling like you're too educated, feeling like you're not educated enough. Like it's just you just gotta deal with that stuff the best you can. And that's why I never really got caught up on like I don't know, like racial stuff and oppression type shit. I'm not obviously it exists, but I would just be like, bro, literally, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I'm going to experience some racism. I'm gonna experience some of this. I'm gonna experience some of this. Like, I'm just trying to live my life, bro. I'm not trying to think about how much that shit affects me or nothing like that. Like, as much as I complain about it or fight against it, it's still gonna be there. So, I just be me. Just do what I do. I like being educated. I like reading. I like learning more. But still, I don't like go out of my way to try to sound as educated as possible. Like I think a lot of people that probably watch these streams probably don't know like that I have a college education, that I've done this, that, and the other. They probably just think I'm any guy, which is fine with me. If that's what they think, like that's cool. Like I don't want to be a guy where they're like, he's definitely educated, but he's definitely out of touch with a fucking regular person in society. So I just live my life. Oof, my battery's on 14%. Actually still doing homework, so we're good. When she's done, I might be done. It's 11:30. Also, man, I just realized today's Sunday. Today's the day where, if I haven't already, I put my clients' programs in for the rest of the week. So I definitely have to get off of here. If she's not done by midnight, I'm gonna get off anyways. Because my online clients, especially if they live somewhere where they wake up, like in the UK, they're gonna wake up and be like, where the fuck my workouts at, bro? But yeah, I watched the Spaniard physics professor explain some physics and drop some of those intervocalic D's. You know what, man? Like I said, being from the South, I've dealt with people thinking a Southern accent is automatically like uneducated. And so when I do stuff like this, almost subconsciously, I don't really speak the way I normally speak. But over the course of my life, I've heard some lectures and professors like with crazy country ass accents. I'm like, this shit is weird, bro. He doesn't even sound like he knows what he's talking about, but he obviously does. But it's just like the same kind of shit that people judge me for, like those thoughts, they invade your mind too. I'm like, bro, he sounds too much like a country bumpkin to be intelligent. There's no way. You just hear that accent and you're like, I don't trust this dude, bro. So it's tough. It's tough, man. That's why I noticed that educated people also speak like that, but he's Spaniard. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you speak a certain way because of where you're from. And you can change it if you want to, but some people just choose not to. They're like, bro, I'm smart. Why should I change the way I talk? Because some other people think I'm not smart if I talk like this. Like, those same people are probably gonna think that shit about you regardless of how you talk. You know? So, that's why I don't care. I think I told you, there's a YouTube channel I follow, which I really think is cool. I can't think of the name of it, but they do lots of linguistic lessons. Well, he does lots of linguistic lessons. And he talked about the aspirated S and dropping the S on one of his lessons. And he said it was a urban kind of uneducated thing. And he's like, if you're a Spanish learner, don't do this. Because if you go to academic setting, they all don't do that. And it's associated with being uneducated. And I felt what he was saying. But I was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, this is how I learned. it's easier to talk like this. Like I don't have to put as much effort into talking like that. And I'm gonna just keep doing it. You know, I get more intelligent every day. I learn more stuff. I learn more grammar. I learn more about both languages, to be honest. And I just keep talking how I talk. Now, if I learned something about a grammar structure that I was doing incorrectly, I will absolutely change that. But as far as eating S's, aspirating S's, I'm probably not gonna stop that. I'm definitely never gonna start saying ADO. That shit's just never gonna happen. ADA, never gonna happen. By the way, Jalen, I watched a portion of the previous stream live, and the chat did not pop up in the video. I wonder what else needs to be done for it to pop up. I don't know, bro. I clicked it, but you know what? I did say last time that I was gonna check after the stream, so I really just need to check after the stream. I really just need to remember, because the problem is, once I get off of here, whenever I get off of here tonight, right, I'm gonna go to bed, and this stream basically doesn't exist to me anymore, unless someone comments on it. So, if you want to, you can comment on this stream once it's published and say, hey, check to see if you can put the comments on. And I will absolutely remember after that, because I do check my notifications. Like, let's just say, like, tomorrow at some point, I will click on YouTube, see if anyone comment on anything, and I'll respond to them. Because I respond to every single comment I get, like, good or bad, which I might need to stop. I might need to stop responding to bad comments, but, like, I interact with everybody. So if a motherfucker comments on my shirt and he's like, man, this shit isn't 450 pounds, I'm like, bitch, go look at all my other fucking videos. Go look at my competition videos. Why the fuck would I lie about this shit? You sound stupid. I should just ignore it, but I'm just not that type of person. So I need to learn to be better and ignore that kind of shit. So I will see it if you comment. When I close YouTube, you're dead to me. Nah, not everything, but just this, because it'll be done. In my head, the stream is done. You know what I'm saying? So I have to remember, I need to X out of this. Because the thing is, too, with live streams, I'll end it, right? And then it's like a little process. It takes like almost 24 hours where it's like, what does it say? It says like uploading a high definition copy or something like that. So I can't even mess with it. It seems like for like 12 to 24 hours. And so I just be like, that shit is gone, bro. If it was immediate, if I could close this out, mess with the settings or whatever, it would probably be easier. But since, like I said, for the next day, basically, every time I look at it, it's like in the process of uploading a HD copy. I'm like, whatever. I'll check it out in 2 days. But then I'll do another live stream or I'll make another video. So then it's an old video to me now. And it just, yeah, basically doesn't exist. So, what's up, bud? You mad that we not in the bed? But yeah, I'm gonna try to remember. Try to remember this stream. X out of this, and before I go to bed, I'm gonna see if I can mess with the settings. I think last time I said I had to click it on a laptop instead of the phone. So really, I just need to check it out on a laptop, see if there's something that I can click, and we'll see. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I promise you, I will do my best effort, make my best effort to put the live chat in the uploaded video. I just don't know how that shit works. So, you have my word though. Give it my best shot. You done? I'm over it. It's gonna be. Honestly, what I really wanted to do was when next year started. I wanted to do some kind of university here, but I've been watching her do her schoolwork, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I never wanted to go back to school. Like, I literally don't want to, especially if it's not gonna be super interesting. I don't know. My boy from here is finishing his university shit now, and he sent me his university, sent me stuff that I could do. And there was some interesting stuff, so I gotta look at it again. I think it would either have to be linguistic or it would have to be like something really hands-on. Like, I kind of want to at least have the qualification to be a masseuse, because I feel like that could really step my business up as a trainer. Like, if I could say, oh yeah, I'm a trainer, but also I can give sports massages or something like that, I feel like I could charge a lot more, right? So maybe something like that. I don't know. But I'm not trying to do some boring shit where like every single night I'm like, oh God, I gotta do this homework. So we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of which, if any of you are watching this and you need a trainer, I do train people online. If you haven't signed up with me for online strength training, what are you doing with your life? Hey, Angel, he used to train with me a long time ago, so he can tell you that I'm gonna take care of you. I will get bank. Maybe. That's what I'm saying. That's what I need to ask him. I mean, I got a CSCS. I'm a high level strength and conditioning coach. I got a lot of experience as a personal trainer and a strength and conditioning coach, but can always add stuff onto the resume. Like I said, just being able to legit be like, I am certified in giving massages, not just being some weirdo that's giving massages. Like, that's dope. Physical therapist, yeah, that too. Thing is, them motherfuckers, bro, they be having to go through a lot to be physical therapists. Like, lots of learning, lots of.
I think I'm gonna do that after this.
Anatomy. Yeah, she wants to do that, but anatomy to do my job. But you can get away with not knowing some stuff. You know, if you didn't know a certain bone in the foot or something, like no one would really care. It'd be like, yo, can you get people stronger? Can you get them faster? Did you used to know that term at one point in time, but now you just know what the foot does, what's its function? Okay, you're good. I feel like as a physical therapist, a masseuse, yeah, exactly. Those people, they need to know the technical terms. They need to know everything about the anatomy. And so I feel like, yeah, I gotta think about that one. I gotta think hard. But yeah, I mean, if you don't follow me on any other social media, I've been putting my website in the description of all my videos to sign up for training. What I need to start doing is I need to put it in the description of my lives too. But either way, you know, follow me on a different social media. Leave a comment, message me, whatever, if you want to sign up. If you want to talk about training, sometimes I have people that just want to ask about it. That's fine. I don't charge for consultations or calls. So if you just want to ask about it, hit me up. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you what it entails. Tell you what price I can do. I try to keep the prices the same for everyone, but sometimes people are struggling, especially young people, and you know, I want to help everyone I can. So I'm not gonna lie and say I never made a deal for anybody, but if you can pay the regular price, you should. If you can't, we can talk about it. We'll see what we can do. Can't make any promises, but you know. See, Angel said I was his trainer. Yeah, online training is a weird concept for some people, but if you get the right connection, you get a good trainer and a person that knows how to follow instructions, it works, especially depending on what your goals are. If you're a super serious athlete, I would tell you, like, you need to get with a real coach if you're really trying to go where you're trying to go. But a lot of general stuff, a lot of regular strength work can definitely be done online. I linked my cousin to you who's trying to lose weight. I'm close to convincing him to finally contact you. Hey man, I'll be here. Just tell him or her that if they have questions, just reach out to me and that we can have a conversation about it. There's no pressure. Tell them they won't be wasting my time or anything like that. There's a lot of people online that are like, bro, I'm not about to talk to you for this amount of time without getting paid. I'm not like that. So if they really want to have a conversation, I will talk to them for as long as they need to learn about the process, about what they'll be getting for their money. Um, and yeah, if they walk away from that and I want to do it, I promise you, I don't care. I'm not gonna be like, oh, my 30 minutes out of my day. I'll just be like, whatever. But usually people don't do too much talking if they're not actually interested. So that's why I don't care. Because like, if they don't contact me, they probably don't care. If they contact me, they're probably like right there, bro. They're probably like right there. So I'm willing to talk to them. I wouldn't contact someone if I didn't care about some shit. So that's how I feel about it. If people want to waste 30 minutes out of their day talking to me and then not buying the training, that's fine. That is fine. But yeah, maybe at the beginning of next year, I might start some kind of school. It's also a matter of money too. I gotta see how much it costs. Cause I do know it's like a couple of G's. I could just take out a loan and shit, but I really want to feel like it's worth it and that I'm not gonna fail the fucking class. So there's those things, you know. You know. Damn, it's 11:42. That's crazy. Why y'all not sleep, bro? It's a Sunday. Y'all don't gotta work on a Monday morning or what? Y'all don't have jobs or what? Somebody voted no on have you given the live stream. Like, that's crazy. Well, they could have given it like after that, but it is getting late. It's getting thin up in here. I said, oh yeah, I do have work. Gotta go, bro. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, bro. You're a night owl and you work from home. That's dope. What kind of job you got that you work from home, bro? I might need your job. I mean, technically, I work from home because I train people, but can always make some extra bread. It don't hurt. It don't hurt. But I'm a night owl too. It's weird because I stay up pretty late, but I wake up pretty early. But I take a big nap in the middle of the day, so. I like to take a huge nap. You work in call center management. That's better than working in the call center. I used to work in a call center, bro. Was not fun. How you get that job, bro? Call center management. I feel like that's not a bad gig right there. It's not a bad gig. I might need to do that in my free time. You work a lot of hours or what? I think it's so weird. Sometimes the chat fluctuates with the number of people in here. Was there really 8 people watching this close to midnight? What are y'all doing? Oh, you started on the phones and just moved up. That makes sense. Hey, you tough. Salute, cause I worked in a call center for a summer, and I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, top 3 worst jobs I've had. Normal 8 hours. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, working from home would be better too, but like, yeah, no. I worked in a call center in person. Like, this was probably like 2012, I think, 2013. And it was just call after call after call, and like, obviously they had a certain script, and they were listening, and they'd be like, "Well, you did this, but uh, you didn't say the person's name 5 times. You didn't say this," and I'll be like, "Bro, I'm trying to get to the conversation, bro. Like, there was 3 other calls waiting for me. Like, the mute button saves lives and stress." Yeah. Yeah, like I said, my shit was in person, so we also had people like walking around, making sure you were taking the calls and making sure you weren't chilling. Fucking 30-minute breaks exactly and stuff like that. I was like, bro, I gotta get out of here. Got to get out of here. I came from warehouse work and I had to escape those 15-hour days. Oh yeah, that's crazy. I never did a job with hours like that. I think the worst thing I did was the military, just because like you don't really get to pick the hours you work. Like, you're supposed to work certain hours, but I mean, if someone says like you gotta do this tonight, you can't be like no. You just gotta be like, damn, it's fucked up. But regular jobs, like moving and storage, was similar because we got paid based on the load. So like, I mean, but the good thing was that most of the time we finish early. But you know, you start up at 5, 6 in the morning, take some shit to somebody's house, and it's like, well, we get paid because this is this many pounds. So the faster we do this shit, the more we're making per hour technically. So we'll be working our ass off, carrying the couches, blah 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 blah. But sometimes there's just a lot difficult situations with the stairs and shit like that. So you're just there all day, bro. But wasn't like 15-hour days every day. And some days you'll pull up and they'll be like, there ain't no shipments. Go home. So that was a weird job. Jesus, you've lived like 6 different lives. Yeah, I've had a lot of jobs. I could probably count them all, but I can't. I don't know if I could think of them all. First job ever, Whataburger. What did I do after that? The military might have been the next thing I did. Office Max, moving and storage. I worked at Buc-ee's, if y'all know what Buc-ee's is. I don't know if y'all know what Buc-ee's is. It's one of the greatest places in the world. Big ass gas station in Texas. Worked at Buc-ee's. I worked at LA Fitness. I worked at that call center. What else have I done? That might be it. And then I worked for the government as a strength and conditioning coach. That might be it. When I worked at Buc-ee's, I was essentially a janitor. They called it maintenance, but there was 3 different shifts or 3 different positions. But basically, you rotated between those every single day you worked. Toilets, pumps, or the floor. If you're on toilets, every time somebody takes a shit or a piss, you gotta clean it immediately because they want it to be sparkling. So they want people to feel like they could sit down on the toilet, which you can, because that's how good we cleaned it. If you're on the pumps, anytime someone pumps their gas, as soon as they're finished, you wipe it down so that every single time someone touches the pump, it's like it's brand new. If you're on the floor, you just sweep the floor. Just sweep all day. Sweep. As soon as somebody touches something, dust it off, whatever. Strength and conditioning for the government, how the fuck? Yeah. There's a program. I don't know if I'll call it a program. There's an initiative that the government is doing, and it's called H2F, Holistic Fitness, right? And so, strength and conditioning coaches, chaplains, psychologists, nutritionists, and physical therapists, occupational therapists. And they want the soldiers to be as healthy as possible, spiritually, physically, and mentally. And so right now, across the country, at all bases, if you have a CSCS, which is like the highest thing that you can get for strength and conditioning, if you can pass that test, instantly, 60K government contract or more if you can negotiate for more. But yeah, did that for the government. So that was my job for like the last year until I moved here. I would just train soldiers all day, just train soldiers on basic strength and conditioning stuff so that they could pass the ACFT and so that they would not fall apart if they had to deploy or if they had to do whatever the fuck they had to do, because they don't know how to train themselves. They do dumb shit. So we had to step in and make sure it was good. But that was a good job. 40 hours a week, salary. And I mean, now that I'm not working at the moment, I can tell you we didn't work 40 hours. Like, every day we was going home early. Like, we would stay, like, most of the time we would stay until 2 o'clock talking. But soldiers have a schedule. They work out at 6 and they would work out at lunchtime. Other than that, they're actually working. So I would train people from 6 to 7:30, and sometimes I would have individual clients at lunchtime. Other than that, like, I literally didn't have shit to do. And so for about 2 hours a day I was working for the salary. And so the thing was, everyone would leave. Like, if you don't have shit to do, they're just like, hey, you can go home if you want to. The contract says that you need to work 80 hours every 2 weeks, 40 hours a week, basically. But there was no one to enforce it, though. It was just like, you should work roughly from 6 a.m. to 2 o'clock every day. But some people will be like, oh, well, I'll just stay until 4 and then I'll leave 2 hours early tomorrow. Or like, people would just leave and they'll be like, well, next week I'm gonna be working 6 to 4 every day, so I'm just gonna go home early. But then like the next week they wouldn't actually work 6 to 4. You just keep saying that every week. Well, like, yeah, next week I'm actually gonna balance it out, but they never balance it out. They just leave. Sounds sweet. Yeah, it was sweet. I'm not gonna lie, super sweet. If it wasn't, here's the thing too. They basically paid the same price for the contracts no matter where you were at. And so we were in Washington, so 60K, the 55 to 70 range that they would pay, depending on what you would negotiate, is not amazing in Washington. But if you did that same shit in El Paso, which was the first spot they offered me, but I just wasn't trying to move to El Paso, and I don't think she was either at the time. 55 to 70K in El Paso will be hella good. I wouldn't want to go to Louisiana, but they had Louisiana open for like the same prices, basically, same contracts. So yeah, outside of like Washington, New York, it's a good, super, super solid job if you can get the qualification to get it. Like I said, that CSCS is definitely top notch. It's one of the harder tests I've ever taken. And I'm not gonna lie, because of the way it happened, I had to take it on short notice, and I barely passed it. Barely. But like literally I had to take it on like a 2 weeks notice. Maybe less than that, because like I said, I passed up on a job the first time they contacted me. Because they said I could do the job in Washington at the base. And then once I was like gonna accept it and shit, they were like, oh, well, that actually closed. Like you have to go to El Paso. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? That was not what we agreed on. So I passed it. They're like, we could put you on a wait list. And I was like, cool. Probably 3 months later, they hit me up. And I actually ignored them. I was actually gonna keep ignoring them because I'm just like a salty bastard like that. And she actually forced me to call them back. They called me back, or I called them back, talked to them, did the interview real fast. They made me an offer. They're like, but it's contingent on you passing the exam. And I was like, oh shit, I really need to pass this. Because if you fail, you can't even retake it for 90 days, bro. So took that shit, bro. I literally passed by one question. It was 2 sections. The practical section I did well on just because like I've been living this life for like 10 years. But it was actually the science shit that I passed by one question. It was like the super anatomy shit and like stuff at a cellular level, like not like not like how does your shoulder work. It'll be like I don't know. I can't even think of this shit right now. It's just the process of fucking converting energy to this and this and this. And I was like, damn, like this is some shit that you would be good at if you just got out of college. But bro, like I'm hella removed from that side of stuff because I've been doing it in practice for 10 years. I'm like, I don't need to talk to my people about the processes that are going on inside. I need to tell them what they need to do to make the shit happen, you know? So, anyways, I passed it. That's all that matters. And so, yes. But yeah, shit was a little bit stressful, especially because they gave me the results back instantly, bro. I didn't even want to open the paper, bro. I was like, nah, like, I kept doing this shit. I'm like, nah, I just gotta open it, bro. Let's see if I pass this shit. Looked and I was like, oh, damn, barely passed that section, bro. But yeah, it's a sweet job. Like I said, if you like majored in kinesiology or some shit like that, you probably have an easier time. At least with the science shit, you have an easy time passing the science straight out of college. I think the practical would be hard for a lot of people that didn't have like my background, because I do Olympic weightlifting and I train people for a long time. So the practical, a lot of that shit was just like straight up. I don't know, like what correction would you make on this exercise to make someone better at a clean and jerk, make someone better at a snatch? What would you do to stop this person's chest from falling in a squat? Shit like that, where I was like, oh, that's fucking easy, bro. I'll tell them this. Especially because it was multiple choice. But a lot of people find that shit difficult because they went to school, but they have no experience actually coaching or training people. So I was in the opposite situation to a lot of the coaches that I ended up working with. Like, a lot of them would tell me, I barely passed the practical because it was right when I came out of college. And they're like, but I got like a fucking 95% on the science part. And I'm like, damn. I barely missed anything on the practical. I almost failed the fucking science part. But, you know, different background. So, it was a cool job. A lot of different ideas about training. We used to have like weekly meetings where we would talk about what we thought could work, couldn't work, and shit. So we get to bounce ideas off of each other and shit. Negative anatomy and physiology. Will my ass in school? I'm not a candidate. Man, all you gotta do is pass it. If you can put in the effort to pass it, once you get there, once you take the job, like the people there will ensure that you learn on the job. You know what I mean? That's why I actually like that job. Like, even like the first 3 or 4 weeks, they told me like, yo, you don't have to do nothing. Like watch, take in the culture, see what this is about, and we'll hook you up with what you need to later. But it wasn't like I just got like thrown in and they were like, oh, this is just show us what you got. Like I did like just watch, just look at what we do. Even though we know you got experience training, coaching, and this is a little bit different. I mean, I'm also a vet, so like the army wasn't new to me. A lot of them have no idea about anything in the army. So like you have to explain to them ranks and why this guy's getting yelled at by another grown man and shit like that. So, but for me, I'm like, yeah, I get it. Oh no, my shit's on 2%. All right, it's midnight. I'm gonna get off of here. But I know the stream be a little bit behind, so I'm gonna let anyone say anything they have to say before I get off of here, and then I will exit out. But this was a good stream, especially for how it started. Started off hella weak, but it got active up in here. Lots of different conversations, lots of new people talking. So, but yeah, King TV, it's time, bro. Hopefully, see you in the next one. If not, maybe the next one after that. If not, comment, let me know if you need anything. I will holler at you next time. It's time for me to peace out. I'm gone.